right now. So this is the Battle Cats iceberg that we made. We saw some other icebergs that weren't exactly up to our standard of quality, so we thought, why not make our own? We make it better. It was made by myself. I'm Mr. Philology. You can, you guys can introduce yourself.
You already went well. Yeah, I'm Nurse Wuffa. Hey.
Yeah, and this is our iceberg. We're just gonna go from top to bottom. As you can see in the image, we're gonna go top to bottom and just explain each one at a time. This video is gonna be really, really, really long. We'll have timestamps in the description for each item on the list. So if you maybe saw the iceberg before and you saw what does this one mean, you can just find it in the description and it'll be there, and you'll get to listen to our explanation for it. There's not much else to say really. We can pretty much just start from here, and
let's go.
We can do our thing. All right, what do we want to start with? What's the first thing on this list we want to explain?
Deck.
The deck.
We could talk about deck. God, we talked about decks so much, man. I hate talking about decks because it's like it's such a stupid word.
It's not a card game.
Battle Cats, yes, deck is on here because people call their loadouts decks, and Battle Cats is, to many people's surprise, not a card game.
So, you seen a lot back then, like Chillhola Anwar's like big boom era. He would call like my Metal Killer deck. And people would also call it deck. It was just really funny.
I forget they were called Metal Killer or Black
like
Killer or White
ones,
Killer.
Yeah, my anti-angel deck.
Yeah,
gosh. So yeah, it's just on there because people like to call it deck. It's very surface level, as hence why it's here. You picked that one, Wuffa. We can go like in turns. Did you pick that one? I think you did.
I picked it, yeah.
Yeah, go for it, Ninja. We'll just do that rotation.
I like the Dark Souls reference. I don't know about you guys.
It's a good one. Eye catcher.
It is an eye catcher.
Yeah. People look at Battle Cats, they see Dark Souls as a popular one. Like, damn, Dark Souls. And it's
Dark
just a
Souls
stage.
And Battle Cats.
It's just an old stage at this point now, but back then it was actually like
it was actually a hard stage.
It deserved to be called Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And there are other stages too in the Crazed and Manic family with stage names that are references like Flying or a Flappy Cat and Resident Feline.
Resident Feline is Crazed Titan.
Manic
I'm not stupid.
Manic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
Crazed
one is
like Crazy Cats?
Crazed Titan is Crazy Cats.
Right, because it's the last one, so it's called Crazy Cats. Yeah, that one's pretty simple. We can talk about Boosted Ramen, which is just the Boosted Ramen is just the idea that you have a ramen that is extremely high level, and it was like it became a meme because someone made fun of. I think it was specifically. Someone made fun of Regget's ramen because he was streaming.
Yeah,
and said, like,
it was Little Dark.
Yes, he was playing Little Dark, and his ramen's like level 1 billion, and he couldn't beat the stage. So people were talking about his boosted ramen that should be able to carry the stage.
It's like, how did you still lose?
With
it was
such
like
a boosted ramen.
Him.
Yeah.
And then, like, Lucas had the boosted ramen video, I think, beforehand already. And then it eventually just spiraled out to, like, everyone referring to any unit that's, like,
super strong. Anything that's strong is boosted,
Well, because, before that, it's, like, boosted... It's like a league term originally.
Yeah.
It's like that's where people get it from, or just like any multiplayer game like that. You call someone boosted because they suck, like they
or they got their rank by playing with someone who's better than them.
They literally got boosted.
Yeah.
So you call them boosted to say they're bad. But then it was just like, boosted literally makes sense if you see something's high level.
Yeah.
In terms of level.
So that's just how it caught on. Yeah, that one's that. What's up, Wuffa? Which one?
Let's see. What looks good to me? How about sponsored YouTube channels, YouTube videos?
That's a good one.
That one's as simple as it goes. There's been sponsorships for like a long time. I mean, you still see them today. They always come up when like the game is on like a little like break, like during like December-ish. Around those gaps, Ponos will be like, "Bam, here's like Markiplier playing Battle Cats." But I guess as far as icebergs go, the oldest one I can remember is Think Noodles.
Think Noodles. Yep.
Yeah.
Think Noodles.
I don't even know that name. Like, not really.
What was the other one?
Really. IS Quick and Think Noodles are really close, like a month apart. They're a little bit more about it. They're funny videos just because, like, it's a new person playing, so they're just looking at wacky cats. But like, they'll come in with like an EOC save, and like they'll transition and they'll have like a bunch of Ubers and true forms.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're playing
guys,
two different saves.
Yeah. Ponos gives them the boost. Funny stuff.
They do give them the boost. I personally remember being pretty excited when I remember seeing the Think Noodles in my recommended that video, and I was like, wow, this game's actually getting like
Attention.
traction.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Really
I was
cool
like, wow,
time.
that's sick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see ads like everywhere.
I was about to say, how much is even traction back then? Back then, it's probably not even that much. For
Yeah.
it to be considered traction, because
Like,
that's
still
like
not
what
even that
it's,
much,
it's
yeah.
like 2014, 2015. So traction for the game back then is like 100,000 views, 200,000. It's like,
It was
something like
it was
that.
still
damn.
cool.
Yeah, it's like, god damn, that's a lot of people. Okay, and one of the more popular ones I remember is PewDiePie, though that one's not sponsored, but it was like,
I don't think it's sponsored. Yeah.
no, I don't think so. But it was just like,
He
you
played
know,
it.
popular,
It's another,
popular
a huge YouTuber.
Yeah, making this game, making it popular, I guess.
Yeah.
In a way.
Playing this
Yeah.
quote unquote obscure game.
Freaking Battle Cats. I can't believe it. Yeah.
What do you got, Benga? What's eye catching to you on this iceberg?
Honestly, dude, I think the Lorax, because he does in fact look like the Lorax.
Named after.
Who is he?
Yeah, who's he? Elaborate. Tell me all about it.
430 comes out, and it was Caxer, right? Who no, Wuffa was looking at Hermit Cat, and he was
Yeah,
like,
all the file decrypts came out. Yeah.
or the file decrypts came out, yeah. And he looks at Hermit Cat, and whose drawing did you reference?
It was a sprite edit by Caesar Clown Salad.
Okay, he looked at the sprite edit done by Caesar Clown Salad, and he was like, dude, this guy looks like the Lorax.
It looks really similar to a sprite edit from someone we know.
Yeah.
Right? And
It looks like the Lorax from that Disney movie.
There's some memes that spread
some,
around that time as well. Maybe a little bit explicit.
There's some questionable.
Yeah,
they've gotten popular
quality.
over time, and they came up again.
They've resurfaced.
No Gacha.
Yes, No Gacha came up again. I've been seeing funny emojis in different servers.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say it goes a little bit more than just like post and servers, because at the time people that were uploading, like myself included, and I'm sure a few others, we called him Lorax still, and not Sage Cat, his actual name. I hope that's correct. And then people like Regit and like Chillhola also called him Lorax, so everyone was just calling him Lorax.
It was completely like independent of one another. It was
so funny.
There's a lot of.
If it's like all of us spread it across from each other, or if it's just like everyone noticed.
It's such a dumb joke, just because like the depth of the joke is literally he looks like the Lorax. Like that literally is the joke. Get it? Because it
spread quite far. It's just crazy. And I thought it was absurd at the time, so it just built with it.
Yeah.
It is Hermit. It's Hermit. It's Hermit Cat, not Sage Cat.
Not Sage Cat. Okay, Sage Cat's the unit, and then it's Hermit Cat. Okay,
right. We can do Yulala as Ururun's dad, considering we're talking about Tower. This one's pretty simple.
It's still Hermit Cat, just as a special unit as well.
Really?
Is it really?
Yeah. Where's Sage Cat come from?
He's just like the sage.
Oh, it's a Japanese one. I didn't know that.
Maybe. But yeah, Yulala as Ururun's dad.
I'm getting it from the BattleCats wiki, so take it with a grain of salt.
I'm sure it's accurate enough.
I'm sure it is too.
I was gonna say Wiki's
jokes.
gotten a lot better. Yulala as Ururun's dad, super simple. It's as straightforward as it says what it is on the tin. Like, you read the two descriptions and the two unit designs look similar, and you can kind of piece two and two together and see that Yulala's description is referencing Ururun and vice versa. And
it's interesting lore. Personally,
cool.
I thought it was entertaining.
Just some straightforward lore. It's
honestly the whole time I saw where it says like, is it Urun's description says her like dad's a teacher? I always thought it was teacher Bun Bun.
Yeah, teacher Bun Bun.
The only teacher I know.
Or teacher Bear, almost. Yeah.
Doing Yulala, I was like, oh, okay.
It was a what's the word? They did it well after the fact. They retroactively changed it. There's no word for that, but I can't remember, or like a phrase.
I don't know if they changed. I'm sure it was
retcon. That's what it is.
I'm sure
they
it was always
retconned
Yulala's dad, but like,
we only got to find out like 10 years later. I wonder if they had the designs just like chilling that whole time. Probably not, but
didn't they have? Well, I guess they had Cyber chilling for a while.
Well, yeah. So I guess if they had a hidden design, it might just be in the files. It would have just been in the files.
And if not in the files, then just like sitting in there.
Art.
Yeah, concept art.
Kronos makes concept art and shows it. So
yeah. Oh, right. They do those like Twitter posts where it's just like a drawing on a piece of paper. Yeah, they haven't done it in a long time. Not that I can recall.
They're really good. All right.
Yeah, go for it. Pick
I
one.
was just gonna say that was like the first kind of lore that I found particularly interesting. After, of course, which came first, like Empire of Cats, or at the time was Stories of Legend before it became Legend Stages. Reading about like theories on the subreddit, which I personally found pretty interesting back in the day.
All you can find for that is like you kind of just have to intuit it, and there's a tiny like references.
You can read the exposition and stuff like that when you load up the game.
But just like all Battle Cats lore, like almost none of it is direct. So it's like you just kind of have to. It's like, this is pretty much true. Yeah. All right, which one were you looking at?
What do I like here? I like App Store reviews. That's another good one.
What's your favorite part of App Store reviews?
I mean, everyone complaining about LeBoyne, of course. I mean, and everyone that's stuck on EOC 1 Machu Picchu. Classic. Yeah, this one's simple as it goes. If you just go on the App Store, you're like, oh, I love this game. Well, what are the ratings? And like the first one's like, this game sucks. You have to pay to win because the elephant's too strong.
Yeah,
just
you always think of well, like when you play a game you like, whether or not it's a mobile game or something, you want to know what other people think about it.
Yeah,
and it's so funny for mobile games because it's like every mobile game is like that. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You go read the App Store reviews. Yeah, it's pay to win, or
the first
this game's bullshit.
Is pay to win every time.
Yeah, it's every time.
Well, yeah, those are just funny to me. And a lot of people.
Just funny old App Store reviews. What's up, Ninga? Which one would you like to do?
I personally really like And Stealth Bomber, which is just it really is just a general statement for just Pono's typos. Yeah. And Stealth Bomber being a classic just because of how old Sunfish Jones is at this point in the game and how long that typo is in his description. And they finally went back and fixed it about a year ago, something like that.
Yeah. Lasted a super, super long time.
Yeah.
It's a very random change. They always go through various updates and fix a lot of typos or weird words that they use, like strong against when something resists. Very random, but it's nice.
Yeah, pretty simple. What was I gonna say? There was when did it get fixed? I can't because it's not in Stealth Bomber anymore. It used to just say like. I don't even remember what it says verbatim, but it just used to say A Stealth or
it used to it was shaped like And Stealth Bomber and therefore undetectable by radar systems.
I want to say related to right now, it was about a year-ish ago, like around Breaker Blast Cannon is when I remember that they changed it. I was like, well, it lives on because Breaker Blast has a typo like that now. It might have been fixed by this time. I remember Breaker Blast had a funny typo similar to And Stealth Bomber.
Yeah, I think
it's shaped like a Stealth Bomber now.
I think we do Amino, but
go for it.
I don't have a whole lot to say about the Amino. It's just a popular place nowadays where people talk about the game. There's nothing too special to say about it in particular. I maybe if I were more affiliated with Amino communities, I'd have more to say. But
you could probably make your own iceberg about the Battle Cats.
I'm sure the Amino can make their own iceberg, but yeah, it's just supposed to be like. Popular. It just is a popular community for Battle Cats. It's very new age as well compared to old communities. And the community used to be so spread out. Like, you literally used to be in kick chats. Like that it was Reddit and kick chats. That was the community.
And some Twitch channel chats.
Camcorder was living it too. I like Nekoluga. Whoa, Nekoluga was the first Uber. Slowing my words hard. Nekoluga was the first Uber. There we go. This one's pretty common knowledge if you just like go on his wiki page. Which is trivia. First thing probably is like, oh, he was also the first Uber in the game, like by himself, no gacha sets.
Because there was no gacha sets when the Rare Cat capsule first came out.
Yep.
You just had a chance to roll Nekoluga. He's a good unit too, especially that early.
Back then he was pretty
outranges Sloth, outranges Master A. It's pretty good.
How long did it take them to put him in a set? Because it was, I don't remember the set, the Uber set like order, like the release dates, but I know it was like
Dynamites and
Dynamites and like Galaxy Gals and War Gods, right? In some order, and then it was
War Gods is first, but
Dragon Emperors
or second. My bad.
Second, yeah, I was gonna say
second, and then Galaxy Gals,
and then it was Dragon Emperor's Ultra Souls, and then it's Nekoluga's after Ultra Souls. So it took them. It went from him being the first Uber to like 5 sets later for him to finally get a set that's dedicated to him, where you're meant to be able to roll him. And I don't even know if you could roll them during the other sets. Like, if you
I
just
don't
couldn't get it all
remember.
that time.
I feel like
I think you could, because my first Uber might in it count as Nekoluga.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Dang.
It was also my first Uber.
Oh.
Alright, done with that one. Go for it, Ninja. Which one are you eyeing?
Honestly, dude, am I in the railroad track? The tracking, if you will.
Track. What do you got to say about tracking? I know how much you love tracking.
I mean, dude, first of all, some people who I will not disclose tracked my save off one of my live streams about a year or two ago.
Right.
But yeah, basically it's just a modernized, streamlined way of being able to see what you're gonna roll in your gacha, because they are predetermined per save file. And there used to be other ways prior to tracking that you could go about doing that, but they were roundabout ways.
People didn't crack like the whole system of tracking. Like, well, because the idea of tracking isn't just like it's like knowing the whole system. Whereas before it was just like, well, we know our roles are predetermined. Like when I tried to information? Yeah, when I try to do the same role over and over, I get the same thing every time. Let's try and abuse this. Versus nowadays, where it's like the evolved, ascended era of technology.
I know that this isn't correct at all, but I'm just making an example. I know that I get X Uber in this set, and it converts to Gao.
Yeah.
So I'm going to not roll for that set until it Uberfest comes out, for example.
And it's just super commonplace now. Yeah. People used to not really do it, and now it's like there's entire programs dedicated to it just for the sake.
I personally think it's interesting. I not like the quote unquote like cheating aspect of it, but I do like dissecting game mechanics and stuff like this. I just find it very interesting personally. Mm-hmm. I do not track, just as a disclaimer, but I do find it interesting. Yeah, but I do find it interesting.
I think we do energy glitch here.
Yep, segues pretty well in.
Yeah, it segues pretty well. Energy glitch is, if you don't know what energy glitch is, it's just an exploit you can do with your phone to be able to refresh your energy from whatever it is to full, like for free. And it's been in the game for pretty much always. Like
pretty much as long as it's existed on smartphones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So people have been abusing it to do like. I mean, we can pretty much take off facing danger from right here because, like, it's just a follow up. It segues right into it. The idea of energy glitch gets into facing danger, which is people will exploit their energy and like refill their energy constantly to farm stages that drop resources like XP or tickets or whatever they need.
It's important to know about facing danger farming that it did change. Back then, it was just farm as much as you want until the time runs out. Yeah. Or if you're like really into it, you just go back in your time zone and you go even more and more.
Yeah.
But when they added the one-time stages, you get one and then you're done and you have to wait for it to come back again. Mm-hmm. It later got added to facing danger, if I'm remembering correctly.
And it wasn't even right away that they added that feature that they put it on facing danger.
It was after a while.
Yeah, it took time for them to put it on to facing danger, I think.
Because it was getting abused so much.
Yeah.
Which is pretty surprising they went back to change something like that.
Yeah. So those two go hand in hand. It's like, people used to abuse it so hard. It's like, it's insane.
And before facing danger, it was Love Metal Hippo.
Yeah, you do Love Metal Hippo or Siege Metal Hippo.
And Sweet XP Hard Plus.
Yeah, you literally you would just infinite energy farm the best stage you had available to you. And if you look around, like, for any farming stage, like, relevant to the time, I'm sure you can find examples of people posting screenshots that just say...
Many clears.
Clear 9999, or whatever the max is for the time of the screenshot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it for that one. Which one?
BCEN tier list.
Mm-hmm.
That's us.
It is us, at least formerly.
Yeah. So, it's as simple as it is for this one. This is just a tier list that the EN community made. And the crazy part about the BCEN tier list is like how far back it goes. People know about the one now, which is a bunch of people. I'm surprised like who updates it now, because a lot of the main people that worked on the tier list currently don't work on it as much.
Don't work on it anymore, yeah.
But Mr. Folk can explain more about how deep the old tier list goes.
Oh, yeah. Like the tier list, and the tier list has been a thing for a long, long time. Well, I say a long time. I guess it's only been since like 2016-ish, something
That's
around there.
pretty long.
I guess it is a long time. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
still like 2 years of leeway where it didn't exist. So, you know.
Yeah.
I guess it's existed longer than it hasn't in terms of battle cats at this point, which just goes to show like how far it's come. Originally, it was made by a guy called NJJ, and he just made it on a Google Doc, and it's literally just, it was written in text. You had S tier, or no, you had SS tier, colon, the names of all the Ubers that are in the tier, just like name, comma,
very
name,
primitive.
It looked really bad, and it was over time, like as more Ubers got added, it was really obvious. Like you look at it and you just can't see anything. It's just a wall of
Such
text.
a mess. The oldest season of Ubers flooded the C tier.
Yeah, it's like all the Go ahead.
Yeah, I like to throw in that it's crazy how much people follow it. Like how big the following is for it outside of like servers and Reddit posts. Like I go on YouTube comments. Like I look at Burgo Cat's like trailer and I read the comments and like I saw Cheerless win. I was like, oh my gosh.
It makes sense.
Are corrupted.
I guess from our perspective, it's like even weirder because for us it was just something like we worked on, and granted we cared about it, but like at the end of the day it was
just for the hell of it.
Yeah, it's something we did for fun because we, you know, the game's cool.
Yeah, discussions get pretty serious.
Yeah, and
outside of it.
Comparatively, like compared to that perspective, it's like all these people that take it super serious, and it's like pretty ingrained in the community. So it's just it's interesting how far it's come.
It makes sense for a new player to follow it closely.
Yeah,
I'm cutting off. Sorry, but it definitely makes sense if you have less experience with the game. It's like, all right, so what do the quote unquote good players, what are they saying about my Uber? And is this Uber good?
Is it even worth using?
Age-old question.
Oh man, that should have been on the iceberg. Is Momotaro good?
Is Momotaro good?
All right.
I mean, really, there should have just been one that said, "Is my Uber good?"
Yeah, it's Uber good.
It's Uber good.
Because like,
I wrote X Uber. Is it good?
It's just like instead of text, I just put a screenshot of just like the Uber roll, like
super
from the
rare.
capsule. It's just an Uber super rare, and it's like a picture of Thundia or something.
Perfect.
Anyway, last thing is April Fool's articles. This one is like kind of actually more deep than the rest of the things that have been in this tier, because there's been a lot of April Fool's things opponents have done. So, I mean, what they do most of the time is they just make like a fake website or whatever, and you just they'll put it like on the homepage in game, and you click on the link, and it'll take you to a web page that you can view. That's what they do most of the time. And the one I can remember is they have Sexy Legs replacing the Statue of Liberty. That's like the one that I remember super well. I don't remember.
You remember the wall cats? I remember you edited the wall cat wall.
Oh, I did. That is what that's
a
from.
good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't remember what that was from.
It's from April Fool's because I saw it again. There's some good ones in there, like the Monaco fax one, the Holy Vox phone number, the Archer Cat reference.
Holy Vox phone number.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I like the Love Live reference form. That one's good. The fake phone game and the VR. Those two are pretty good.
Yeah.
They go back. They used to do it like every. I don't know if they still do it every year, because I haven't really been checking on April Fool posts as much.
I haven't really paid too much attention either, but I assume they still do it. Like, why wouldn't they, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine they don't.
So in some form.
That's it for service here. We're done. We got through one. We only have a lot more. So this is the shallow tier. These are things that most people will probably know. Some of them are a little obscure, but like if you've played the game for a good amount of time, you'll probably at least heard of it. Like, for example,
wiki dive.
Yeah. A lot of these you could like just Google them, and you'll find like either like a video about it or just exactly what you want to know. A good example we'll start with is CPAC. Super easy to Google, but some people won't know about it because it hasn't happened in a long time and it's never reappeared, and it's an old meme. But it's CPAC is just the collab event for the meme, if you've ever heard of it, PPAP, pen pineapple apple pen. But they collabed with the dude who did that, and they just remade it for cat pineapple apple cat, and there's a cat in game that's exactly that.
I just listened to that song again.
Did you? The cat version?
Yes.
Why did you listen to the cat version?
I was looking at funny videos with my niece.
Guys, I have a request for everyone. I have a request for everyone watching this video. I'm gonna have my code in the description. I need you guys all to add it. You get 10,000 XP.
Fucking crank codes, dude.
Oh, this is a legendary one. This is something that if you're a new player, you definitely
won't know about it anymore.
How stupid it was.
Guys, I need Monaco, please.
Pretty much before they got rid of this code feature, like every single battlecatcheats video you go into half the comments is just like a code, or like please add my code, like please someone add my code.
Please add my code, and then like a string of 5 numbers and letters.
Yeah.
And that's all they post.
The code refers to if you get 10 people to add your code, you get Monaco. That was the original way to get here.
It's a friend referral system. So every person has their own code, and you give the code to 10 people. 10 people put your code in their game, and then you get rewards for it. At the end, you get the cat Monaco. Whereas now you just get it as a drop because they got rid of that system.
It's a moon drop. Same with bean cats.
Yeah. So back in the day when they had the system, like you said, just all the comments from everything, everywhere, just flooded. Add my code. Here's my code. Like it just ruined all.
It's really bad to start because you want like actual feedback and like for like strategies or something like the game itself, and all you got was a code response. Like the first comment's a code.
It used to be so bad. Like
it was really bad.
Even on old YouTube videos that didn't get many views, like literally
100
view videos, there'd be like 5 comments, and two of them are add my code F56B4. Like please give me Monaco.
I wonder if it's Monaco or Monaco. I've been pronouncing wrong my whole life.
I mean,
it's an O.
I've been saying Monaco.
Monaco's easier to say. I don't know.
Yeah,
it just feels like it rolls off the tongue better.
I actually don't know. You're up.
We could do At Last I'm a Cat. That one is pretty simple, but it's another one of those things you won't know if you're a new player. There's in the 28th subchapter, there's a stage called At Least I'm a Cat, and before it was called that, it was called At Last I'm a Cat, and it was called that for like many years, and it randomly got changed.
I don't know why they changed it. I don't understand.
So you would have to presume they changed it because it was a typo for all of that time. Like there's no other reason they would change it. I don't think it.
I don't know. At Least I'm a Cat. It sounds so weird.
I like At Least. At Last. I like At Last a lot better.
I agree, same. And it fits with the subchapter's theme, where it's like, because that whole subchapter is like melancholy ending stuff.
Yeah, ending stuff. Yeah,
it's like this is the end of the story.
Well,
so at last I'm a cat. Yeah, I don't.
That's why it always made sense to me, but then they changed it. It was
then they changed it out of nowhere. It was just a random update. And
I think it was when Forster came out for it.
Oh, maybe.
That would make sense because they were going back and like looking at all the stages, I'm sure.
I was going to say one of the crazier things even is that the stage name was known beforehand because the stage names were all in the game files. Like that's how, remember, because the wiki had all of them listed beforehand, like before the stages ever came out. So you would have thought if it was a typo, they would have fixed it when they put the stage into the game first time. But they didn't. It was called At Last I'm a Cat from pre-release to release all the way until
years later.
Yeah, years later. Just for no reason. They're just like, oh, yeah, this is a typo, I guess. Maybe they looked at it and they thought it was a typo. Who knows?
I have no idea why it changed.
All right. Enough of that one. It's up to you, Wuffa.
Yeah, I got a good one. How about Dark Lazer's AoE?
That's a good one.
Feel free to talk about it.
So I can't exactly remember the version of this. Probably 2.0 or something in BCJP, since that's Special Cat True Forms. But originally in the JP version, when Dark Lazer came out, the true form for her, she had area attack. And at the time, I thought that was ridiculously broken. It's like absurd attack rate, black enemies and red enemies were actually really threatening still at the time. So it's like you get this.
There's not a whole lot of good attackers for those types at the time.
Her attack rate's like faster too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Compared to like the first one, because no multi-hit.
Right.
So Dark Lazer had good attack rate, good DPS, good dual typing, and area attack. So it's like this unit's ridiculous at the time. And then BCEN gets it, and she didn't have it. She was single getting it.
You didn't even mention the video you made on it. The video that you made.
You got it nerfed, man.
Wuffa infamously released a video about it, about how good it was. And then, this is like when it's still out for JP,
looked at it,
and then it comes out. It comes out, and then it gets nerfed after the video was on YouTube.
Whether or not Ponos actually looked at that, and that was
it's funny. It's funny to imagine they did look at your video, because back then you're the most popular person, and you're like the only person doing EN guides. It's like you and
Kanta Okuwa.
Yeah, it's you and Kanta Okuwa, and so it's like of course, if they did look at videos, they would have seen it.
It'd be like, that'd be a popular one to pop up, maybe.
They would have seen it.
It's not my fault, I swear.
It's funny to imagine it was your fault. Like, just
it's okay. It came back stronger with her wave talent, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same thing, but better.
Yeah.
What do we do next? What's up, Ninja? It's your one.
Hard plus plus plus. I like that difficulty scale because I'm a boomer.
all the pluses. Yeah, it's just the old name for difficulties.
Yep.
Yeah.
Insane.
Hard plus.
In particular, that's insane.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We should talk about how there's hard plus plus plus, or did I say too many pluses? Whatever. Hard plus plus plus, and then after that was hard space plus. For some reason,
I don't remember this even.
That I'm pretty sure that's still insane. It was another way to write insane, because like the special cat awakening stages are named as hard space plus, like Dancer Cat Awakens.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it because the first stage was called hard, so they had hard and then hard plus, like it was supposed to be a harder version, but they didn't have another difficulty
part of the problem
title?
Yeah, I guess
is because of that. That's probably part of the reason why they changed.
That probably makes sense as too.
Yeah, it would make sense. Yeah, nowadays, like the best example of the hard plus 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 was the XP weekend stage, where it's easy, normal, hard plus, hard plus plus, hard plus plus plus, and then was the final one 4 pluses, or did it go all the way to 5 or something, or was
it final one was just 3?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that stage is like the best example of the old difficulty.
That
and the old way to write insane.
and then eventually they just replaced it with the current system they have now, which honestly, like, in naming it's better.
It definitely makes more sense, but I'm a boomer and I like.
Well, I just mean to say, like, the namings make more sense, but like stages within them are not the same difficulty with the same name. You have like Facing Danger Deadly, and
right.
You get 1 crit and you win. Like, anyone can beat it. Yeah.
That's just Ponos' difficulty rating all over the place sometimes.
It's my go, I think.
Go for it.
We could talk about the Siivagunner Battlecats reference. So I need you to talk about it, Wuffa, because I don't know the specific references. Or
that's a cool one.
I think you know one of them. Go for it.
I think I remember the first one being a Plants vs. Zombies one, where it just segues into Battlecats, as the rips usually do. Yeah, and that was a crazy one because it's like a pretty big channel is recognizing Battlecats.
Yeah,
so everyone's losing their mind.
Channel, shining light on a quote unquote obscure game. There's just
at the time it's still pretty obscure.
Yeah,
it's like what, 2017, right? Is 2017 2018?
I can't remember exactly.
If it's somewhere in that time range, 2017 2018,
pretty obscure.
I was gonna say that's when I was still a Reddit mod on the subreddit, and when I was a Reddit mod, the highest amount of subscribers on the Reddit was like 20,000 compared to what it is now, which is like I think it's like more than double what it used to be. I'm sure it's actually a lot more, but I don't remember.
It is 54.8 thousand.
Yeah, so it's more than double of when I was there. So just like give an idea. Yeah, it's like at the time it was insane to see Battlecats just like on some unassociated popular thing that wasn't a sponsored YouTube video. It's like they just did it because they know Battlecats.
Yeah. It's in other videos too now, but I think PvZ one's the first one.
Yeah, there were a couple. I think someone commented on the thread we posted saying that there are like 4 total. Yes. I think something like that.
I've seen the PvZ one. There's one that's literally a Battlecats one to begin with.
Oh, it just like is a Battlecats one.
It's just Battlecats, like the what's the word for it? Like the instrumentation, sound files.
I guess sound. Yeah,
whatever it specifically is, it's using that, but there's some other song I forgot what. There's that one, and then I know there's a remix of the Into the Future Rush theme, but I don't know what the 4th one is. I haven't dug that deep into Siivagunner rips to know.
Yeah, I'm not super affiliated either.
But either am I. As a reference. All right.
Yeah, which one do you want to do?
Let's do. How about the Iguana? What is the Iguana? We have a chameleon in the game, but not an iguana.
Is the Iguana? Who? So Iguana starts back in. Gosh, it's been a while. It's probably pushing like 3 years at this point. Maybe My sense of time is so bad. It's however long ago it was, someone in a BattleCats Discord like had a custom enemy idea, and if you've ever seen people's custom cats and custom enemy ideas, you know like it's already probably not going to be very good. And like all this guy says in the chat is he's just like, we need, or there's like not enough enemy variation, we need new enemies. I have an idea. An Iguana, it's a spammable advent, it attacks fast, dragon range. Like, he says all these stupid stats about them, and then
nothing in specific.
Yeah, nothing in specific. He's just like, it
very
attacks.
general information.
Yeah, and then so someone else in the Discord like kind of egged him on, or like went along with it, and came out with a drawing, which is like the infamous Iguana drawing that just says, it's like this awful drawing. You'll have to like search it up. If you type in Lucas IV Iguana, I'm sure it'll pop up. I don't even know what the title of that video is, but that's what that's where that image comes from.
I think it's like hidden cat making fun of another video, so it goes a little bit deeper.
Yeah, that does. But
the Iguana,
probably know what Iguana is itself, but you might have not known what its actual origins is, and it goes back to a Discord server guy's OC.
Yeah.
And eventually got made fun of, and then Lucas picked it up and put it in a video. A lot of people know about it.
And that's pretty much how it got popular. That's how it went past like just an in-joke on a Discord to being known by a lot more people. All off this one dude who was just like, I have an idea. Spammable advent, attack fast, dragon range, spit acid, high health, high damage. And it's phrased in like such a way that everyone would talk about their custom enemy. It's the strongest enemy. There's a billion of them. They have insanely high HP. They're unkillable. They like just how everyone would talk about this stuff. It's just it's so stereotypically bad. Go for it, Ninja. It's your choice.
This is something that happened on one of my streams, the audio crash bug. There's a clip of it on my Twitch channel of basically your game audio would make a burr sound.
Yeah, and it's like radio static almost.
Yes. It put you on a timer. After a certain amount of time, your game would just lock up.
Yeah,
and that was it.
And also hitting the base triggers it.
Hitting the base would activate it as well.
You either took too long or you hit the base. So you would like play. Let's say you're playing like a really hard level or something. Like, let's say you're playing. I know you're thinking of the one in specific. So you're playing floor 30, and like floor 30 is known for being really hard without Ubers, right? Or at least like
at the time.
Yeah, for like a year and some change after the stage came out. You're putting in this really rough attempt. And you finally kill Hermit Cat, like you finally get your winning run, and suddenly you hear this noise in the background. This radio static starts playing. And whether or not you hear it, you slowly approach the base, and you deal damage to the base, and suddenly your game freezes. Your game freezes, and you're just having a panic attack, like, what happened? And then nothing will happen until you like close the game. The game's just broken.
The game freezes. Yeah, I think the best part
Go ahead.
About that bug. Yeah, sorry for interrupting, but
you're good.
I never got to note that the best part about this audio bug is that all three of us are iOS players, and it was an iOS bug.
Yes, it was.
So, all of us experienced it in a way. I remember Ninja messaged me when Zyklon was hot, and that was a hard as hell stage.
Oh, right.
Weed Whacker, and he was like, "That feel when you beat the stage in the game crashes."
Well, yeah, because as soon as you hear the noise, like you're going to crash.
Literally,
like,
it's guaranteed.
So as soon as you hear it, if you're on any meaningful run of a level, you're done. Like, you already lost. It doesn't matter if you won. You lost anyway. It doesn't matter.
Oh, man.
So on my stream,
just
Rickety Coaster that I was doing?
I think it was Rickety Coaster.
Yes, you were doing Rickety Coaster, and you were trying to learn it.
Yeah, I was just learning it.
So long.
And I was like finally figuring out, I was like, all right, this is going to be it. Like, I know what to do. Burn.
Did it crash when you hit the base or when the base was about to die?
It happened when I hit the base, because I remember I stream with an Elgato, right? And I can't hear the game audio, so I didn't know that I was about to crash.
That you were getting the crash.
Yeah, but I see in my chat a bunch of burrs from Wuffa, and I'm like, oh no.
I know what's happening.
I was so pissed off.
Like that one you did, Ninja?
Yeah.
We could talk about the Traitless Icon, because there were a couple of people that didn't understand this, which is Traitless Icon is just referring to there in the game files. Well, in the game there's like filters for all the types, and there's like icons for them. If you go in the cat dictionary, it'll highlight which types a cat is useful for or its ability effects. And there are cats that affect traitless, no trait enemies, but there's no icon for it in the dictionary. You just have to read the description. It says affects traitless enemies. But in the files, actually, there is an unused traitless icon that has like the white square and says, I actually don't know what it looks like in the English version if it's there, but I remember the Japanese icon is just like a white square and it's got a Japanese symbol on it. And yeah, it's been in the files for, is it? Yeah.
I think it's just W in the end.
It's been in the files for a good chunk of time now, right?
About like Relic-ish era, a little bit after Relic updates.
Yeah, once they started pushing traitless cats all the time, everywhere. But yeah, that one's pretty simple. There's nothing too crazy about it. It's just a lot of people don't know about it because it's not in the game yet. Well, it's not in the game yet. It's hiding.
It's hiding.
I'll update this video when it comes out finally.
Yeah. Here's how to date your video. Traitless icon isn't out yet.
Yo, I got a good one. How about the BC community is garbage?
God, that one is...
That's true?
Yeah, if you asked me like 2 years ago, I'd probably agree.
That's not very nice.
That's 2 years ago, me. I have changed.
It's
I've
true.
matured. I've gotten older. Do you want to talk about a Wuffa, or I can, or what's up?
Well...
I feel like you know it a little bit better than I do.
It's kind of hard to talk about its origins, because it's like a little bit of things that break a camel's back into it happening, but like, not specifically. This one pretty much happens off of like specifically like Reggae video.
Yeah,
like Reggae pretty much beat Lucas.
It's in reference to a video Reggae released, which was originally titled "The Battle Cats Community is Garbage."
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay. Yeah, it was. It stemmed like you said. It stemmed off of like a bunch of different things, a bunch of different tiny things, and we talked about it. What was it? Yesterday or the day before? We talked about what kind of inspired Reggae to make the video was. There was an old guide maker named Alichi, and he would help Reggae during streams to like do levels and make lineups and stuff. And during one of Alichi's own streams, someone asked about Reggae, and he just like, whether or not it was a joke or serious, he insulted Reggae, saying like, "Oh, Reggae's garbage at Battle Cats" or whatever. And Reggae heard about it or saw it himself, and he kind of took it to heart. And on top of all these other things that Reggae had been going through, because at the time he wasn't like, he was popular in terms of viewership, right?
Yeah.
But the like
he
endless
wasn't
amount of
exactly...
people. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was very black and white in terms of who liked him and who didn't.
Yeah,
there was a line drawn in the sand. You either liked him or you did not like him.
A lot of people made fun of him for not being good, and which is like, whatever. Like, it's a friggin' mobile game. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if LHC's garbage leads exactly to BC Community's garbage. That's a separate video on its own.
Yeah.
I think it's more so the Overwatch like toxic comment that he left in a server is one of them.
Well, yeah.
And then like I know Lucas would come in. Yeah, like Lucas come to his chat sometimes.
And just talking
like we would come in. Though I like never came into streams and never said anything. Like specifically myself, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like to comment about stuff.
I came in there one time after he released that video. I came into his stream one time, and he banned me because he had seen me in his comment section on the garbage video.
Affiliated with it in a way. Yes,
he saw me comment on it, and I disagreed with this video, and he banned me in the next stream I showed up to. To this day, I'm still banned.
He's still banned.
I'm still banned.
Tragic.
To this day.
But yeah, just
it was
pretty much
an event that happened.
Drama. Just some drama, really.
Just some drama about people not liking him. Made that one, and Lucas responded with his own.
Yeah,
this community is not garbage. Well, apparently it's
wasn't literally just titled "The Battle Cats Community is not garbage"?
I think so. Yeah,
titled literally just "It is."
It is allegedly not garbage.
Yeah, just some good old drama from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy that that's back in the day now. Holy,
dude,
I'm old.
Yeah, fucking battle boomers for real.
Use
go
BC
for
Ultimate. BC Ultimate. Pick BC Ultimate.
I mean, we can just do BC Ultimate.
Yeah, we can do BC.
We don't
Ultimate.
have to go strictly in order.
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk about Battlecats Ultimate. Battlecats Ultimate is the God program created by I don't actually remember his full username. I think it's LCY01X. But I've always just called him LCY. Is the creator of Battlecats Ultimate, which is like a Java program. It's just meant to be a Battlecats simulator.
It is it is what the players begged for. Please give us a level creator. Please give us a sandbox mode, Ponos, anything. They never gave it to us. He answered our prayers.
Yeah. For the longest time, everyone's like, please level editor. And then finally Battlecats Ultimate comes out, and
I remember making a Reddit post about wanting a level creator.
Dude,
actually got traction.
You definitely weren't the only one. Everyone wanted it. And then Battlecats Ultimate comes out in like 2018, 2019. And it's just like, because originally it was meant to like just view units or something. It was supposed to be a way to view sprite sheets like collected together. And they added functionality to like just play whatever stages you wanted, and then after that they added functionality to create your own stages, and then add your own enemies, add your own cats. It's basically
extremely versatile.
It's its own version of Battlecats, and it's like perfect as a practice tool if you wanted to like go develop strategies for a stage you wanted, or just like testing out a unit you don't have.
Testing breakpoints with levels.
Yeah, there's tons of things you can use it for. It's just a fantastic program that a lot of people know about, I think, but it's still kind of it's not very obscure. Yeah, it's obscure enough that you're not going to find it out without getting into the deeper community a little. You're not going to, play for a couple months and then
you're like, hey,
go download Battlecats Ultimate and become exactly. I think we could talk about Speedrun tier list, which is a funny name for the Battlecats KR tier list, because I just thought it would be funny to put it in the Korean tier list, because in the EN community, at least like a year ago, it was funny for some people to make fun of that tier list, because a lot of people take the EN tier list to heart. They read it like a Bible. Like, this is correct. Everything about it's correct.
Definitive tier list, yeah.
Yeah, and then they see the KR tier list, which is like completely different.
And they're like, what is this?
Yeah, and
why is it like this?
People would call it the speedrun tier list because a lot of the highly rated units were fast units, or units that were made to just like you beat the level as quickly as you can. And even units that were like good, but they were really slow at doing their thing, they would get rated terribly. Like, a great example people would always talk about is Recon Corps. Recon Corps was like bottom tier in their tier list, and then they had Amaterasu like pretty high. So it was like, why is Recon so low? And their complaint was always that he was slow. Like, why bring these Ubers if they're slow? So people would call it the speedrun tier list, and I thought it would be funny to add it because
that's a funny name for it. It's a good name for it.
I didn't want to insult any of the KR players. It's up to you, Wuffa. Your choice.
How about cattle bats?
That's a good one. It's a good one.
I would enjoy to talk about cattle bats. Cattle bats refers to an old video that I made, actually. Very of its time video, because it was an MLG parody of Battlecats, and people are groaning already just hearing that. But
it's been a while since those.
Those are some outdated videos. It was a parody of Battlecats in the MLG meme format. And people like ate it up at the time. It was funny. And one thing to really take from cattle bats that took off was Archer Cat jokes, because in that video was making fun of Archer Cat for being so bad.
Yeah.
And at the time, a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is funny as hell." Like, everyone's gonna make fun of Archer Cat. He's so bad. And it kind of took off there. And people will still talk about Archer Cat jokes. And there's like a whole other half that get mad at people that make fun of Archer Cat, because Archer Cat's a respectable unit now.
Yeah, all this time later, people still make fun of Archer Cat. Yeah.
And it's funny because like the video was gone. I deleted that video, but like people will just know to instinctively make fun of Archer Cat just because he's either bad or just like other people in the know will talk about it. So people just join in.
Yeah, some people will make fun of. Yeah, some people will make fun of Archer Cat. Well, yeah, like you said, they'll just intuit it because they think the unit's bad, but other people will make jokes about it because other people are making jokes about it without even knowing about cattle bats, because Well, you can't even know about cattle bats anymore. The video's gone.
Yeah, it's deleted.
But...
But like back then, that was like a big joke.
That
This
was
is back when the
the
community was
video.
smaller too,
Yeah.
and yeah,
It's
it was
like-
one of the first
revolved
funny
around
meme joke videos. Yeah, now you get like the real memes. You get like the Lucas ones, like some crazy like animation ones that look like the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Battlecate, you lie. This cat sucks.
yeah, stuff like that. Archer Cat kind of gets a spin-off too. Like after Archer Cat came like Killer Cat jokes. Like you get it. Like, joke bag unit, make fun of it.
Yeah, it always it
Bad on purpose.
The spirit of the Archer Cat joke making fun of bad unit has always lived on. It's just whichever new cat is bad. Killer Cat, Bondage Cat, whatever
Eggy.
people are making fun of now, Eggy. Like it's just whatever is bad at the time, it's the same idea. It's just this unit is so bad. Ha ha, it's funny. Like yeah, that's all there really is to it.
Yeah.
Go for it, Ninja. Got 5 left.
Let's talk about r/battlecatscheats.
That's a deep one.
It's so deep that I feel we're all not qualified enough to talk about it.
I was actually gonna say I probably won't be able to do it justice.
I don't think any of us can. But we can tell you what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it is a subreddit dedicated to, as the name implies, quote unquote cheating in battle cats, be it save editing or helping with tracking, which is what we covered above. And I will say that there is a lot of secrecy around the methods that they go about to do stuff like this, because they don't want I guess like the quote unquote common folk, for lack of a better word, they don't want their methods being spread, and they don't want Ponos either patching it or figuring out a way to stop them from doing what they do.
Just like any game that has stuff like that, where people are modding files or save editing, they just don't want randoms to have it and then go around abusing their power or get it. Like, you don't want someone saying, like, give me your save data, I'll mod it for you, and then literally steal people's saves. Like, people...
Or,
like,
I'll do it for $5.
Yeah, or, exactly. So, yeah. A lot of it is pretty secret around there. There's a long history about battlecatscheats that we just don't know about. There's, like, an old Discord server that is no longer a thing.
Is that Discord server gone?
Yeah, it got deleted.
The old one is, but I'm sure there's a new one somewhere.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
the original battlecatcheats server got deleted because it's like against Discord TOS.
Oh, right.
You're not supposed to like distribute cheats. Some stuff like that.
We're not allowed to talk about it right now.
I personally. Oh, wait, I was just gonna say, if I'm not allowed to talk about this, like, cut me off. But I was just gonna say, I remember I did some poking around on a Discord alt, and there is a lot of like workaround, quote unquote workaround, to gain access to the server and actually talk to the actual like chat for like cheating assistance. That's all I'm gonna say. But I went on an alt and I did some poking around.
Yeah,
it's a deep one.
I won't say anything else.
It deserves its own iceberg, but
it does.
Not made by us. We're not. It's not our thing. You have to. I don't even know who you'd go to. There's that one guy. I don't even remember him by name, but there's one guy on the battlecatcheats subreddit that's been around for God knows how long. But you'd have to ask that guy. Like, someone around there can make one, I'm sure. We could talk about Mina Buff. It's pretty straightforward, but people don't know about it because it happened so long ago, and it's like you use Mina now, and you just like you would think, how can this unit be worse? Like, how can there be a version of Mina that is worse than base evolved Mina is? Because she's just so average in her evolved form. Like, there's nothing special about her. But before she got a buff, what was it? She got a buff before True Forms came out.
Version 6.7 according to the Battlecats wiki.
Yeah, the version before Legend True Forms got added. She got a buff that gave, or maybe it wasn't the exact version, but before the True Form came out, she got a buff to her range and she got a buff to her damage, which were like the two things that were
that were holding her back. Yeah,
like, she got a damage buff.
Did she not?
Did she?
Am I dumb?
It doesn't say so on the wiki.
I
Just
remember the range buff.
I also don't remember the damage buff.
I lied. My bad. I remember a damage buff, but
that range buff.
The range buff was massive. It was like 400 to 435, right? Like,
yep, 400 to 435.
Huge range buff. It went from
unit's way more usable now.
It went from being tied range to Elephant to can outrange Lenore. So
same range as Musashi for some reason. The wave immune one.
Really? They're both.
Musashi's 400, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were both 400. They released two 400 range legends back to back. Gosh, Mina came out. I remember when she came out, and it was just like, this unit
really
is
bad.
so bad.
She got replaced by Major Leaguer like instantly when he came out. Wait, this unit's so much better for LD because you can stack them.
Yeah,
just 2 of them is better pretty much already.
And the range was like not like it was different, but it wasn't. Most of the times, most of the times you would use Mina back then. You could use Major Leaguer.
You just use Major Leaguer.
Yeah.
Having flashbacks to Leadfoot Drive stacking.
Yo. That's good.
All right, what's up? We got 3 left.
How about Baby Cat's mom? I like Baby Cat's mom. He's cool.
Yeah,
Baby Cat's mom refers to some like lore you would find in the 4 Koma manga of Battle Cats, which does exist. And it pretty much just says that Baby Cat's mom is Princess Pun, aka Kerahime. I don't know why I gave that an accent or rolled my R. But she's a unit from BCJP Collab that we never got in EN.
We still haven't gotten.
Yep. Still have not gotten. She's even the first collab, I'm pretty sure.
She is.
She's the very first Battle Cats collab.
If you go look at like unit IDs, like the numerical unit IDs, it's like 25 is Bahamut, and then 26 is a Princess Punt unit. Because it was like...
Before Gacha.
Yeah, it was before Gacha. So, yeah, the Princess Punt comes out, and it's literally the first like new content in the game that wasn't there with it.
But yeah, it says in 4 Koma that she's Baby Cat's mother.
So. Isn't there even a unit with a Titan Cat carrying?
Yes.
Carrying
Sleeping Beauty.
Yes, and it's like it kind of furthers the lore. It like solidifies it more.
If you haven't read it, then there's this for you in the game.
Here you go, and then you might be able to make a connection because I'm sure like the description probably says something about it. Maybe not though.
Maybe.
It's freaking Japanese. I can't read it. All right, which one? You get to pick the order of the last 2, Ninja.
Let's do Musashi's name change since we just got finished talking about Mina.
Do we remember what the original name was? Like the very first name of the Musashi legend drop unit?
If I recall, when he first came out, his first form was Miyagi Musashi, and his second form was Legendary Musashi.
And what is it? Go ahead.
As time went on, his name eventually got changed to Miyamoku Musashi, which I imagine is to make the reference more clear who he's referencing. It's like some dude who like mastered the dual wielding sword.
Yeah, it's a Japanese samurai according to the wiki.
Yeah.
It says prior to BCEN. Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
Keep going.
Okay, I was going to say prior to BCEN 5.0, this unit's normal form was named Miyagi Musashi. Prior to BCEN 8.0, this unit's evolved form was named Legendary Musashi.
So they changed both forms, but they just did it at different times.
Yeah.
He's gone through a lot of name changes.
The heroic Musashi, or what's his new name? The legendary Musashi name makes sense why it changed because legendaries were coming out, and there was a legendary called Musashi. Yeah, and he's a legendary, so it's like the legendary Musashi and then legendary Musashi.
Yeah.
So they renamed him to heroic Musashi for confusion's sake. Also, apparently, I know I read this in another iceberg, but I think they said there's 3 name changes. I don't know what the third one is.
I'm not aware either. The wiki doesn't say anything. The wiki is Bible.
It is on an iceberg, so maybe it's just super
even more
super obscure. Deep lore. We're just not affiliated enough. Last one is Catburger's true form, the bug with it, which and there's not too much to say about it. In whatever particular version Catburger's true form came out, and its true form was just a regular cat. Like they still had the placeholder, or like the icon in your loadout was normal. I think it like looked like the true form unit, but you'd spawn him in, and he would just look like the basic cat. For all I know, all the stats were the same. Even like I don't even know if they changed the stats. It's like they put it in the game. And they must have they must have forgot to put their version in with the live one. Like they just messed it up somewhere along the way.
Funny bug.
Yeah, it got posted like everywhere. Everyone was like, I think even I posted a video at the time on my channel. I was just like, everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's a bug!" Because in Battle Cats, you see bugs so. Well, like
you honestly see them infrequently.
Yeah, you see bugs that are like really clear like that very infrequently. So it's when you do see one, you're like freaking out. It's like, oh my god, there's a bug in Battle Cat. We gotta post it everywhere. So yeah, that's it for shallow. Now we're into depths. We're getting into stuff that you could probably Google. You might not be able to Google all of them. Some of them are not so easy to know, but some of them are also, even if they're not easy to find, they're very straightforward. Like,
just in their titles.
Yeah.
You can infer.
Mm-hmm. Where do we want to start?
This is good. This is where it gets deep. Should be my turn, right?
Yeah, you can go. I mean, if it's not, you can go.
I would love to talk about Uriboten was the best BC player.
Oh, people get this.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I was gonna say people get this one. Well, I don't want to say people get this one wrong, but I guess it's not intuitive. The quote just says Uriboten was the best Battle Cats player because way back in the day there were so few guide makers for the game. All there was is like Wuffa, and like honestly that's it. Like if you go really far back in the day. But for JP, the game was out a little longer, so there were guide makers, and one of the best guide makers was Uriboten, and he was known for just being so freaking good at the game. He did was he played everything without Gacha Cats, which is kind of what inspired. Well,
No Gacha.
Not everything, but like most.
Yeah,
of it was.
Obviously he had videos with Gacha Cats, but like he'll put out a strategy and he'll only use what you can get for free, which is kind of what inspired like people to do that. Mm-hmm. And one of the famous at the time runs he got was in Underground. The level Underground. He did it without any Gacha Cats, which for the time was like really hard.
God damn.
Yeah, that stage was one of the hardest stages back then, and then he was one of the only people. He probably was the only person who did it without Gacha Cats, at least back in the day.
I can add a bit to it as well. Uriboten means a lot for me, just because he's like one of my huge inspirations. People talk about like how was Wuffa so good just to begin with, or like how did he like know all these strats. Old JP players were my big inspiration back then. That's where I pretty much learned all my strats and like just how to learn how to play the game better. Because this isn't on the iceberg, but it should have been. There was the original Battle Cats version, and this is before the gacha. This is like with all the English and everything. Then JP 2.0 comes out that adds the gacha and a lot of stuff that we know, and original English gets deleted. And in this gap, it's really awkward because like people still play Battle Cats with English, a very small amount, but it's hard to find the community because like there's no YouTuber uploading.
And it gets updated to the Japanese version.
Yes, it's also in Japanese, so we're gonna comment on Japanese, but you can't read it.
Mm-hmm.
And also at the time, this is code hell, so anyone you find that's in English is typing their code out instead of talking about the game. And if you go really far back, I think even before Uriboten, you will find a channel called like Chan C who uploaded guides, and he was my first inspiration. And then like another one called Cutivis as well, also made guides. They both made guides. Both like using like special cats too, going real No Gacha.
Yeah.
And then eventually they kind of quit, and then Uriboten stepped in, and he made just like really good guides, as Mr. Fell said, No Gacha, easily accessible, and all the guides were also like, if you were good enough at the game, like not even like super good, like you can pull off the strategies still.
Yeah, it wasn't just that they were doing it with No Gacha. It was that it was No Gacha, and the strat is applicable. Like anyone can do it, like you said. I mean, yeah. And go ahead.
You go. No,
I was gonna say like the next part of Uriboten was the best Battle Cats player is that eventually he just stopped making guides.
He disappeared for a while.
Yeah, he disappeared. He stopped making YouTube videos entirely. I say stop making guides, but his channel just stopped for like a several year period, and he came back and he didn't upload guides anymore. He
was messing with like
game files and. Yeah. Game he started editing the game for fun and showing off cool things he could do with the game.
And he's dead again.
Yeah,
he is dead again.
Doesn't upload anymore again.
Been missing him in my sub box.
So yeah, he was just an insanely legendary player in the early stages of the video game, which no one really knows about anymore.
Yeah. A lot of people definitely would.
At least no one knows him for that anymore, for being so good at the game.
Now they know him as like the guy that spammed the Assassin Bear Paris.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing person.
All right. Whose turn is it even? I think it's Ninga's. I think.
Sure, it can be my turn, I guess. Let's do ABC 045.
This is a good one. This is some real cuts.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to talk about it? Go for it.
It was Drunk Master, correct?
Mm-hmm. The rare cat. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, basically it's just a placeholder name. When he was first released, so his name was, as you see on screen, ABC, the numbers, and then in the description as well for like his unit description, it was just ABC, ABC. It was just, and it was the same text. It was just very funny, and that kind of goes on with what Mr. Fail was saying about like, I guess bug isn't a good word for it. I guess it falls more under typo, but it's just, and it was very entertaining at the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was a typo with it. That came out with the April event, but they called it Ape-Lil.
Oh, right.
So it was double mess up.
The Ape-Lil.
Oh, man. That was a good time. Well, Opponents is hilarious.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That one, where is it? Right here. God, it was only like that for one version, right? They fixed it the very next version.
They fixed it pretty fast, yeah.
I believe so.
Pretty big mess up.
Yeah. Well,
like, not game changing, but it was a big mess up on the fact that like this unit has placeholder text.
You presume they still do that to this day. Like that's how they format their placeholder text.
Oh yeah.
They just forgot to change it. It's like the second. I want to say it was kind of close to the Catburger True Form. Well, no, maybe not. I was gonna say maybe they were close together, but actually I don't think they were.
No, that was
because that unit is pretty old. Yeah.
No, that time frame is big.
Yeah, yeah, it's very old.
God, that unit is so old. Well, yeah, because it's after
that's like first
True
one
Forms.
cycle.
It was. I think he was added in, what was it, 2.0.1, I believe, and it was fixed in 2.1. I'm pretty sure.
This man knows his numbers.
I'm pretty sure.
It's definitely a big gap because it's from the time between monthlies coming out all the way to, I'm pretty sure that Catburger True Form bug happened in 4-star Sea Plutus update, if I recall.
I was gonna say it wasn't
something around there.
Oh well, no, never mind.
I think it was around 4-star Sea Plutus time. Because I remember making jokes about it in the videos I was uploading at the time.
Yeah.
Sea Plutus was my favorite sub-chapter, so I remember that one specifically.
Good sub-chapter.
We could talk about the Into the Future Treasure Bug, which...
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, Wuffa, you know about it best, because I remember you liked to mess around with it when the bug happened. You liked... The bug is that, well, in this version in particular, the Into the Future treasures that make alien enemies have less HP and do less damage, the treasures didn't work for, like, no reason. So you'd go play, like, for example, you go play Queen Bee, and, Queen Bee is already, like, a hard stage once you have all the treasures, but, like, when this bug comes out, Queen Bee goes from just being a hard stage to, like, wow, now the Queen Bee has 60 million health and does 18 quadrillion damage, and all of the Croxos in that stage are just like...
Definitely a doable stage.
Yeah. It became impossible. Strong. Everything with aliens became impossible.
Pretty much near impossible, unless you're like big Uber carry.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's funny because it comes with 2-star... What is it, Mouseland? Does Mouseland have Rickety Coaster? Oh, I can't remember.
I can check right now.
I'm bad with those, that like subchapter error.
I Mouseland.
I thought it was.
Or which one before?
I think it would make sense by the name, but you never know.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a subchapter that has Rickety Coaster. That 2-star came. You can find like specifically Lucas video about it.
The alien pigs.
Yes,
that stage are just on complete roids.
That one was where like I was messing with Mitama there.
Yes, it was Mouseland.
Okay, cool. Because I was just doing it, I was like, I gotta see how it is with Mitama to see like how broken she was. This is when Mitama was still like newish, and like I beat the stage, I killed like the Berserk Kory that's over, and the alien pig's still alive the whole time.
Kill everything else, and they have like millions of HP.
Yes. Because
you're playing it as if you never played Into the Future. Like that's how insane it is.
That's a actual big bug that they had to fix and give us compensation for. I think we got 30 cat food.
Yeah, for 30 cat food for making these stages unplayable. For like, you just couldn't beat Queen Bee for that like entire version until they released the patch.
But like
you could
specific Ubers.
You could, but you couldn't. Like you weren't doing it. It's your turn. If you can pick one.
Oh, my turn. Do we do the big one here? Do we do No Plan A on release? Is that on this? It is.
It is.
It is. I think we do that.
All right. So, No Plan A, which this one kind of surprised me because, like, I know new players, like, you know, they don't know about, like, some old stuff. But, like, I always feel like this one's just, like, a big one. And it always, like, kind of surprised me when I'm like, yeah, No Plan A is kind of just, like, a stage nowadays. It's, like, it's just...
I know. It's crazy to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, back then, this was a big stage because this is pretty much the first, like, Advent tier, like, Advent.
It was the first Advent, I believe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And...
No Continues was introduced here as well.
Was it?
Right?
No. No Continues was Perfect Cyclone.
Right. No, you're right. This just made it. Yeah, it was
like
just
really explain how bad it was.
Yeah, it was really bad.
So like No Plan A comes out and like this is a big stage. Like people were commenting on the Reddit, being like this stage is like literally impossible. No Ubers. Even with the Ubers, it's impossibly hard. You bust out the Jizo, you bust out the Gamma Ray on
Gamma Ray on
the Zeus.
So, like give an idea of how big a deal it was. There was like a Reddit thread that was entirely based around it. The idea of the thread was like, hey, let's make a strategy to beat the stage. This stage is too hard to beat.
And I'm gonna be honest, that stuff is kind of rare on the BattleCat subreddit.
This was a big like moment.
It was a big deal.
Mm-hmm. And people were like going further and further, like, oh man, how minimal it was gonna go. Oh, this one only uses one Uber.
Yeah, yeah, that was a big deal.
Crazy.
It was like it was not
is it even doable without Ubers?
Yes.
Was it even possible?
Because up to that point, everything definitely was doable without Ubers. But this stage comes out, and it comes out in JP first, obviously. Mm-hmm. And it's starting to get close to the release date of like around the time they released the EN update, and no JP YouTuber had done it without Ubers yet. So people are watching the stage, and like these JP players are using several Ubers in their lineups, and people are thinking,
if they can't do it.
If they can't do it, you know, is it even possible? JP players are really good. How are we going to do this? So that's what like inspired the community effort. It was like, well, we need to figure out how to do the stage. The stage is really hard.
And I remember sitting in Discord calls. Mr. Fail, you were there. Wuffa was there. Caxer was there, and I remember I wasn't quite at that point in the game yet, but we were all there like.
We were literally brainstorming.
Sitting there thinking, what units work? Well, this unit can't work because X unit's here. Well, this one can't work because this unit's here.
Yeah.
Theory
this has too many range.
We just talked about it for hours.
And
day comes out, and I think I was about to say, Caxer
did it.
He did a legendary run of a no Uber, no Plan A one. It's like just groundbreaking news. It's insanity.
He didn't get a video of his initial run, the like very first winning run, but he talked about how he did it. And the foundation of his strategy is still the like base strategy that you use to beat the stage to this day. It's
very
like
cool.
You still play it the same way, which is so legendary.
Crazy.
It was insane when
it was a sick post. I remember the reaction to it. I remember waking up to it, and I was like, no way, he did do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has to be. He's like, can you redo it for me? I need a video of it. I can't do it. And I was like, I remember Mr. Phil told me, he's like, can you do it too? Because like his hand, like the way he wrote it is like very like it's written in a way where it's kind of hard to understand what he means when it's like, oh, at X time do this.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's not written like super perfectly. So it's kind of like
harder to understand if you don't understand the game as well. Is really what it is.
And how he wrote it. It was like written a certain way, and then eventually like got used to it and was able to get it run. So and then showed it around. I was like, okay, this is Cax's strategy in a recorded form. And then after that, Mr. Phil got a run too with gift cats.
I used gift cats.
Right. I remember that.
But Caxer was the foundation for the original strat.
No that you still use to this day. It's so insane.
It's insane. That was a crazy time.
It was a very fun time, I will say.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, not many people remember it anymore just because the stage... Not only is the stage old, but it's just easier now.
It's
like,
trivialized. You get like Ramen, Maglev.
So like even though you use the same strategy, you know, a lot of
units
people
are better.
Don't need guides for it. Yeah, units are better.
Units are just straight up better.
People are also better than they used to be back then. Like, you know, we talked about the community thread. It's like a lot of people back then. You know, we talk about how it's a big deal you couldn't do it no Uber, but you know, most people are using their Ubers anyway. They're like not sitting here like I'm the god gamer, you know, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, most people aren't trying to do that. Whereas, so it's like the small subsection of people that were really hammering home runs on this level.
I forgot I was gonna add to it.
I was gonna say I regret putting it as NPA instead of No Plan A.
The wording for it's kind of funny.
Yeah, some people didn't understand that NPA on release NPA meant no plan A. I just abbreviated it. I shouldn't have. Yeah, I don't think
add something to it. I am forgetting what I was gonna add about no plan A. Another thing is this is also like right after like Abe Muhammad is like new,
Right.
and also the introduction to LD. So we also had to learn how to time Abe Muhammad. Like they were literally just learning how to time Abe Muhammad.
Yeah.
On top of we're still figuring out how does LD even work. We didn't know. Like, at the time,
there's a blind spot.
Yeah, the enemy has a standing range, and that standing range is when he's going to trigger his LD attack usually.
And the standing range is different from how far away it can hit. That was like the thing that was you had to.
It was so confusing.
Right? So it's like not only is it one of the hardest stages by design. Like you think about the design of the stage, like all the enemies kind of cover each other. So not only is the stage, not only is the stage hard on its own, but you have to learn new mechanic that has never been in the game before, and also you have to learn how to use this unit that is the centerpiece of the strategy. Like if you if you use this unit bad, you're not going to win. So it was just like this really hard stage.
A little bit of luck sprinkled in.
Yeah, it was a legendary time in the community.
And of course, no continues didn't help at all.
Yeah, people were just energy glitching, myself included. I definitely retrying like crazy.
I remember Wuffa hadn't really energy glitched much at all, and then he was like, "This is the stage. It's like it finally. This is it. I need to." And understandably so.
Yeah. I think the only other stage that comes close to No Plan A in terms of community getting there is floor 30. Yeah. But No Plan A was the original.
Yep.
Like the first time we've ever saw a stage that's just so hard.
It was so hard. People were like, well, I'm not even sure if you can do it.
Yeah. And nowadays you can't, like, it's hard to think about that because like new Battle Cats is just different.
It's not
It
like
is
that.
just different.
To me, it's always like people are like, oh, is this stage possible? No Ubers? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it is. Like Cyberpunk, Geek Cat, Sniper Cat, Shoe Form. These 3 units are so stupidly strong if you abuse them that the stage is probably possible. And like unit level caps have made stuff like if you think it's impossible, I'm sure it's possible in some crazy way.
And back then it's like
it's units to work with, and
it's just not the same. So much is different. So much is different. All right, that was a long one. Which one are we talking about now? Who even was that? I don't remember.
I picked No Plan A. I want to talk about a big one.
Go for it, Inga.
Let's do Kanta Okuwa Moon 3.
Ooh,
that's all you guys. I remember it almost not.
I think we should definitely do this one. Ninga likes laughing at this video.
So
no hate on the guy.
no hating at all. It's just so funny. Kanta Okuwa uploads a video of him doing Chapter 3 Moon, and dude, the audio quality is atrocious.
just for quick context, Kanta Okuwa is an old school Battle Cats YouTuber back then, like 2015, 2016.
And 2015 at the time, yeah. I think the video was uploaded on 2014, actually.
It might be that old, yeah.
I can look it up, but anyways, so the audio quality is awful. He's playing on iOS, so you have like the little the volume that pops up from the middle of your screen, and he starts playing, and you can see him turn the volume up.
The quality's so bad,
and it just sounds awful. And then a couple seconds later, you can hear him turn it down. Like, damn, this sounds awful.
Yeah,
it's just very funny.
That one refers to it too, because that's pretty much the first Moon 3 guide for EN in the newer version. Because at this time, I didn't upload a Moon 3 guide, and I remember Kanta Okuwa was inspiration for me to want to upload. I was like, oh my good lord, please no, the quality's so bad. Like not to hate him though, like Kanta Okuwa made guides as well, like me and him were making guides around the same time.
Was Kanta Okuwa
a really funny video?
One of
2014, yep.
I was gonna say, is he one of the people that did? Was he the first person that did a stage guide using the unit in the stage? What, for example, using Bahamut in Moon 3?
He used Valkyrie on Moon 2, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep. I'm almost positive that's what it is.
Such an old thing.
That's a funny one.
John Bogle is famous for that.
Yes.
Gosh, that's a good. No one does it anymore, but it was such a classic back then. People would use the unit from the stage to beat the stage.
Yes, to beat the stage again. Because I think the best example, it was John Bugle's Ururun guide. where he uses Ururun in the stage to beat it after he had already beaten it and gotten the drop from it.
Because funnily enough, the cat unit outranges the enemy unit.
Yes,
That's pretty rare, but woo!
Yeah. We could talk about we could do something short. We could do JP YouTuber cats, which is nothing complex about it. It's just these very obscure cats that are only in JP. There's 2 of them I can think of off the top of my head. There's a cat after it's macho legs, but it has Hikakin Gaming's face. He's like a JP YouTuber who's popular for. He definitely doesn't do just Battle Cats, but he just like is a gaming channel, and he did a video for Battle Cats, and they put his face on macho legs. So there's just a cat of him in the game, and then there's these other YouTubers. It's 3 faces like sitting around a table on a couch, and it's just like that's the unit. And they're just of these like obscure Japanese gaming channels that collab with the game. There's not much else to it really. There might be a couple other ones that I don't know off the top of my head.
It's because they're so obscure.
Yeah, they're like
also like bad too.
Yeah, they're not good units. Like a lot of the special units back then. It's like they're bad. They don't do anything. They're just there to be like joke units.
Novelty.
Yeah. That's how. Yeah. Right, go for it.
If we're talking Japanese, how about the version differences? I love fish specifically.
Go for it.
So, like, okay, there's the obvious version differences, like, JP gets more units, or JP get like a Japanese exclusive unit, or like, the language is different.
Back in the day, they would get stuff first as well. Just
JP gets it first. But there's like also like more deeper specific differences. Like, I'm pretty sure I think it's Korean or Taiwanese. But like Eraser Cat, people know about this one. Eraser Cat in those versions doesn't say Neko on it.
Yeah,
it's just a blank space.
I think that's the Taiwanese version.
He's bootleg.
He's bootleg, and like Jimira doesn't say like I love, and then like the text it says like I love fish, like literally in English I love fish for some reason. That's
which is why it says that, because referencing the Jimira.
Deeper ones like that.
There are a lot of them if you look around for him, but there are also the 2 surface level ones. What's up?
There's an English one, Hip Hop Cat. Hip Hop Cat on Android and iOS was different. His evolved forms, like icons on his fans, were different.
Were they? I actually don't know this.
I think they were. I think it's a star in one version, and then I think it's kanji in another one.
It might be different in Battle Cats Pop.
Oh, maybe.
Even. I'd have to launch that game to find out.
I could break out my 3DS and take
it. Do it later.
I think this one's a thing in EN. I might be wrong, but I remember hip hop looking different in some versions.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but if you look for them, there are unit differences you'll find. I don't know if there are any enemy ones that I can think of.
Oh, what about Miss Haka?
Oh yeah, Miss Haka. Miss Haka's tombstone has different text written on it depending on the version. It'll write it in Japanese or in what is it? Just say RIP in English.
In English, yeah. And in the Korean version, I believe it's like it doesn't have text. Like that's on the tombstone. I think the sprite itself is a little bit different. I could be wrong though.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yep, there's a ton of them. You just gotta look for them and kind of know where to look. It's really hard to just find them by chance. I mean, if you like play a different version for some reason, like you want a different save, you'll notice them as you play, and it'll just be like, wow, well, that's different. And yeah, simple as that. There's just a ton of them to know. All right, what are we doing next?
Well,
I think it.
You go.
I was gonna say I think it's Nenga's go.
Oh,
is it? Yeah, it is.
Let's do Discord Cat server.
Discord Cat server.
That's a good one.
Discord Cat server. Do you want to talk about it? Since it's your thing?
I was gonna say start off, Mr. Frail.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Discord Cat server is just an old. I mean, it's exactly what it's called. It's an old Discord server for Battle Cats that was hosted or adminned by a person named Avivix, and it's especially notable because it's like it was its own sectioned off community. It was like, there's all these places you talk about Battle Cats. There's like a main Reddit Discord at the time. There were the Facebook groups. You talked about it in the kick chats that don't exist at that time. But like, there's all these places with the sectioned off community. You talk wherever, you talk about the game, but there's just one Discord server hosted by this person. It's like off in its own little world with people who don't interact anywhere else really. They only interact in the server. And randomly one day the server just like Avivix puts out an announcement. It's just like, the server's gone, I'm deleting it. You get like a day, save whatever you want, and the server just disappears and it's gone, never to be heard of ever again. It's like very obscure because it was hard to find out about it.
Right, because it was so sectioned off.
Yes, and it was closed off like that because the creator wanted to find a Discord, because at the time there was no Reddit Discord. There just wasn't one. There was one originally, we'll talk about later, but it got closed off. So she asked for an invite, couldn't get one, and said, F it, I'm gonna make my own. And that became the Discord cat server. But then finding an invite link for that one was really hard. So
was it that hard? I feel like if you typed in Reddit Battlecat's Discord,
well, yeah, if you did type it was, but that was the only way you find it. The only way you find it is typing in Battlecat's Discord, and like it wasn't in any official community space. It wasn't like, here's the Facebook and then like a pinned post on the Facebook group, here's our Discord.
Right.
Like, yeah, the only way you find it is you Google it. So it's pretty obscure for that reason. Not many people, probably like no one really remembers it that wasn't in it.
It was a crazy server. It was a very
There were a lot of it. There were a lot of
regulars.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Like community events and everything. The owner put a lot of work into that server.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller communities like that are always fun.
Yeah, and by nature of being so obscure and being sectioned off, it serves itself better for something like that, where you get to have those regulars that pop up for all the same events and all that jazz. We could talk about Battlecat's PC. Do not research.
So you can't even research it. It's gone.
Yeah, I don't know if we could talk about Battlecat's PC.
Why not? BCPC is classic.
Yeah, BCPC is well, because BCPC is
fever dream.
It's a fever dream.
I feel like it is.
It kind of is. Battlecat's PC was like, so you had to sign up for, what was it, like Japanese Yahoo to be able to do it. It was like a web app. It wasn't even its own game you download or something. It was like a web app, and you play it through your browser or something. And it was like licensed to this company, this not Ponos company that was developing the game. So as a result, it's got like all these weird non-Battlecats mechanics, like all these weird not Battlecats cats that are completely original to only that version. And if you've looked at like custom content for Battlecats, like BCU stuff or just modded content, you'll probably have seen Battlecats PC Ubers that exist only in that version. And eventually the game just went defunct. Like the company either couldn't afford it or their license for the game was up, and they were just like, nope, we're done, no more. And the game got deleted. It's just gone. There's no way to play it anymore.
It's worth noting that BCPC also had PvZ, which is another fever dream part about it.
Yes.
You get the OC.
You said it had PvP.
VIP Ubers.
PvP.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, rather it had PvP teams versus an AI, because it's a bot that controls the other guy's team.
It wasn't true PvP.
It was.
I was gonna say. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say the other notable thing about Battlecat's PC is it had the very first. It was the very first thing that featured Mechabun, because it had the Mechabun. It was like a different version of Mechabun. Even it didn't look exactly the same. Yeah, it was basically the prototype of Mechabun. It was the first time it ever appeared in any Battlecats anything. So it was like it's a wonder if they came up with it and then Ponos stole it, or they just got it from Ponos and they brought it into the game as like a exclusive, come play Battlecats PC. We have this special unit, because I think it was advertised like that too.
Yes, it was like something about signing up early. We'll get you him.
Yep.
I have a Japanese Yahoo account because of that I no longer
don't use for anything.
Same. Ooh, another thing to note if you're curious, the meta for Battlecats PvP, the first one to sell out their LD Uber wins.
So true.
Well, pre units that are cat traded, anti-cat traded.
Oh right, there was cat trait in that. Dude, that game is whole like own
And
guide.
units are ranked by rock paper scissors tier. It's weird. It's like Kai is like paper and like
It's like Pokemon typing almost.
Pretty much.
I wonder if it had to do what they were typed against. So like Kai being typed to paper would have been because she was typed to floating. So everything floating was typed to paper, maybe.
I don't know. I feel like it's just random.
It
like,
probably was
super
just
strong
random.
against it now because he's scissors type.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the anti-cat trait units.
All right, that's it for that one. Feel free to pick one, Wuffa.
We did BCPC. Let's do another Battle Cats inspired game, and let's go Kitaro spin-offs.
That one's all you.
The other way.
You're like so knowledgeable about those.
I guess the best way to put this, in my opinion, is Kyoto Project is Battle Cats 2, and Kitaro is Battle Cats 3. And what I mean by that is these are games that Ponos worked on, and I think, like in Kitaro's case, it also had some influence from the like animation studio they're working with.
The publisher, maybe?
Like Toei, and I think something else, but I don't know how much they put into it. But essentially, think of this as like Pono trying out new things with the Battle Cats formula. Like Kyoto is like basically a weeb version of Battle Cats. And like it's a little bit different. Like back then you couldn't, like, the top row is your like gacha units and your bottom row is your like free units. Like you couldn't have just all like free units and all gacha units. You had to split your lineup. Yeah. There was like weird restrictions, like you couldn't use the same unit. Like there was variations of like Ubers that are also like rares, but you couldn't use both at the same time. You only had to pick, and then that got changed, thankfully.
It would be like I was about to say it would be like if there were 3 different versions of, I don't know, Yukimura, 1 rare, 1 super, 1 Uber, and you can only bring 1 from any rarity. If you can't bring rare Yukimura and super rare Yukimura in the same team because they're the same unit.
T-Kalisa.
Sure, yeah.
Think of like that kind of restriction to put it more in how bad it would feel to not use both of them.
Yeah.
No dual dragons.
Yeah.
Or dual titans for tanking.
Yeah, just anything like that.
Something like that. Kyoto was weird. It was much weirder. It was definitely different compared to Kitaro and Battle Cats, just because it was so much different and trying. Like, there's no treasures, if I recall. It's instead ranked off of like little missions each level has, which I think is better. Like beat it another X time or beat it without losing base HP, and you'll get like a star. And as for Kitaro was its own rabbit hole. Kitaro was basically like one of Ponos didn't restrict their level design. What if they just said, fuck it, Uber design stages. You get Kitaro. You get some insane stuff. If you want to see Battle Cats like on crack, look at Kitaro gameplay. Like, I'll point out one example so I don't make this going for so long, but there's this unit called like the bird that takes a step like every like millennium or something. And it's a unit that when you spawn in, he sits at your base. He has 0 movement speed.
Base defender.
We call him base defender, yes, because he doesn't move. He sits at your base and he hits to like 2,750 LD.
Yeah.
And like hits like from a massive radius.
It's like the new Ramiel unit that came out for the Ava collab. Yes. But what if he just stood at your base the whole time and he had no blind zone and he also did insane damage?
He does like 100 like K damage at like 40 or something.
So yeah, to put it in perspective, imagine it like that. Like it covers almost the entire stage in some cases, and if they get close, if they get close, he blows up the entire screen, and he stays at your base. You can stack him like, and he's
so much.
The craziest thing is he was cheap too. Like
yes, he costs 1,001.
He costs 1,000, which like to give an idea of the money scale, it was like kind of similar to Battle Cats' money scale. It was like slower in general. I think
Kitaro's weird because Kitaro's built-in speed up and it's like super fast. I guess I should talk about Kitaro in itself. Kitaro is like, think of a Battle Cat that has a lot more quality of life to it. Like it's way easier to get refills. Just things are more mechanically nicer.
You can roll more often.
You can roll a lot more often. It's
just
easier to plus.
It's just the stat screen. It's nice, built into the game.
The built-in stat screen.
So good.
And it provides real stats too. It's not like
they're not fake stats. That it's not a bar. And it's like 4 out of 5 bar attack.
Actual numbers.
But it's just an insane spin-off on Battle Cats. And
they still use the Battle Cats formula.
Yeah, I mean they collab with Battle Cats themselves, so you can get the cat units in there whenever it rolls around. But yeah, just think of Battle Cats on crack in this Kitaro. There's some insane stage design, like holy moly. Crazy games.
I've seen some crazy stuff. Sometimes that game just like you can't even tell what's happening. There's so much on screen. That's it for that one. What's up, Ninja? Which one?
See the original R Battlecats Discord.
That is a good one. All familiar with that one.
It is a good one.
I can say from personal experience, when I was a Reddit mod on r/Battlecats Reddit, we wanted, a lot of people were using Discord. This is around when Discord's like getting popular. A lot of people, myself included, want a Discord for Battlecats because, why not? It's a good place to talk about the game. And the Reddit didn't have one, so no one on the Reddit, like if you wanted to, there was just nowhere for the Reddit community to group up over Discord. You would just have to because back then it's so hard to find servers on your own. Yeah. So me and some of the other mods came up with the idea to make a server, and we just put the server on the sidebar of the Reddit, and you click on it, you get invited to the server. And that was the original Battlecats Discord, just like the one that's there right now. It's the same idea. You click on the button, you get an invite, and you join. But back then it was way more primitive. We didn't have any bots. It was all hand moderated. And eventually just so many people joined, and there was a specific, I guess, group of regulars that only
they fucked shit up.
Yeah. They were not everyone was a nice person back then. Different times. People were younger. People didn't grow up yet. Were mature. Eventually, the server closed because, I don't really remember the specific reasons it closed, but people weren't having a good time in it, and it wasn't being used the way it should. So we ended up closing it, and another one got created, which is the one that's on the subreddit to this day, where you have to freaking use a password to get in. That one, that's the current one. And the old one, people have called it the toxic server. If you've ever heard someone say toxic server, I don't even know if people call it the toxic server.
They call it toxic server.
They call it toxic server, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
some people think it's the Reddit one.
Yeah,
that's currently news, but no. If people say toxic, the toxic is the original r/BC.
Is the original r/BC server where this same group of people that have been in the server are still all hanging out, playing Battlecats or whatever other games together. To this day, as we're recording this video, this server still gets used just by not Battlecats people anymore. Or, well, yeah, not really.
Important to note, the original creator of the new one, the current one, we have to give a shout out to JJ Amali.
JJ, it's been so long.
Yeah.
Oh, I messed that up. There we go. I haven't spoken to him in... It's been a little bit. I just spoke to him. Did you? Of course you did.
Because he played League and I made fun of him.
I need to send him a message, and I don't know. I need to just send him some stupid meme.
I love JJ Amali. He's a very funny person. A little bit toxic around the time when he was leaving, but he's funny. Really funny person.
Yeah.
If you're into how he talks. I'm sure that people now do not approve of how he talks. If he was to come back as a Redditor, as a moderator.
Like I said, different time.
Yeah, much different time.
Well, I thought he was a fucker back then too, but
I love JJ Amali. He's great.
I didn't have a problem with him.
Well, let's see.
A lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Well, we're talking about Reddit servers. How about free Costa Jizzle hack infinite download 2020?
Guys.
Where did it
I don't even
start from Anthony, or is Anthony just the first person we saw send it?
I honestly don't know, but I know, at least for us, I know Anthony as the one who uses it.
Yeah.
Basically, you could go in the Reddit Discord server, the new one, and randomly you see Anthony or someone post this GIF of the guy. Has
a geometry dash. It's a geometry dash player. He beat the hardest level ever, and he's having this insane reaction because he put hundreds of hours into this level.
I believe he made the stage, and to get it approved for other people to play, you have to beat it, to make sure it's playable.
Yeah.
And he finally got a run. He was streaming it.
Freaking out.
It's insanely hard. It was one of the hardest levels ever made for the game, and he finally beat it after many hundreds of hours. So he's having this completely insane reaction.
Physical reaction, yeah.
So
and it was edited.
Yeah, so someone made an edit of it where it's just his reaction, and above it, it's just a white background, black text, free Casa Jizzo hack, infinite download 2020. And it's just this guy completely
he's
having
ecstatic.
Finally.
He's having a breakdown, and he just ends hands in the air. Yes. He's just
my free Jizzo.
My free Casa Jizzo. My infinite hack.
it's good to note that it doesn't actually exist. It's
yes,
just a funny
not real. Yeah, just a funny meme. Not not for the layman. We're only gonna find it if you're a. Well, I was gonna say you're only gonna find it if you're a pro, but I guess Lucas made a video with it, didn't he?
Oh, did he? If he didn't, that's great because that means it's more broad.
I think
it's not just a Discord related one.
What is it's... People know about it though. I feel like people know about it. It's
Lucas is leaking the good stuff.
It's so funny. It's oh my god. When we first learned about the meme, we literally laughed about it for like a week. It was so funny for a week.
So stupid.
I don't know how it was funny for a week, but it was.
Yeah.
All right. What's up? What's next? I think Ninja, your go.
I think it's my turn, but if it's not, I mean,
go for it.
Dark Web 3-star No Gacha is a friggin' on release was friggin' hard.
Yeah.
It's just you have Dark Web, which is already a hard stage on release, and then you have the No Gacha players who took No Gacha instead of being like just a rough format, so where anyone can swap in units to customize it based on what they have and stuff like that.
Yeah, for like a strategy to beat the stage.
You have the people who take No Gacha as like a skill determining thing, which could be true to a point until you start getting extremely high level basic and manic units, and then
it loops around to becoming unpractical because people just don't do it anymore. So then it becomes about the challenge, but some people would
just inflate their unit levels to the point where it once again is no longer a challenge, and it's just I didn't know Gacha, and it's just like okay.
The Dark Web thing on here even is like there's like several layers to it. There's like 3 different things you could talk about at the stage. There's a Lychee, an old guide maker we already talked about. He like really wanted to beat the stage No Gacha. It was like this one in DNA. He really tried hard to beat these 2 stages.
Those 2, and of course those 2 stages beat Dark Web and you get DNA.
So yeah, this stage on 3-star No Gacha is like just completely insane. It like so yeah, he's someone who put a ton of time into it. I don't even remember if he did end up beating it. Dark Web.
I don't know if he beat it, but I know his strat went insane and used Catly to knock back the BCEN Kory, so he could just kill the base.
He developed a ton of strategies for it, and he went super hard on the stage. And
Catly.
It was a Gacha unit, no? Or am I thinking of something else?
Well, I'm just saying this is one of them, because No Gacha refers to a different one. We'll get to that one after the Lychee one.
Sorry.
Yeah. I know Gacha was as far as killing the BCEN Kory than dying, because I remember there's a gif and he said like he XD, and it's like him killing BCEN Kory as his base dies.
Yeah. One of the other things you can talk about with Dark Web 3-star is you can talk about the
Lucas one?
Yeah, you can talk about Lucas, who did end up beating at 3-star No Gacha because he got like an infamously lucky run where the beginning Dober, which is like part of what makes the level, it's like pretty much what makes the level hard, is he just has such huge HP and stats like right at the beginning. You don't have a lot of money or time or space to work with. So like how lucky you get with him proccing shockwaves is like it kind of determines how well you're gonna do. And he had this run after a ton of attempts where he got like 10 attacks in a row, no wave. Or well, yeah, it was the entire run. He didn't get a single shockwave. For any RNG shockwave, it didn't proc the entire
just
run.
Had a massive, I think, crazy UFO stack. Just obliterates Dobers.
He just completely blew it up because like it doesn't wave, so you get to build your stack and
you
like
stack up as much as you want.
Yeah, you know, things are only getting hit one at a time because they're all stacked slightly different ranges. So
and of course, you know,
it's like this is the run that beat Dark Web 3-star No Gacha. It's like this insane luck run where it didn't get a single proc. My stack stacked perfectly. I destroyed all the peons and support enemies. Like I just completely destroyed it. It was like the craziest, luckiest, and best run. It was all together in one.
And this ties back to just the fact that a lot of the times No Gacha strats just end up being impractical. Like that isn't a practical strategy, but he did it for just like the novelty, saying that he beat it. No Gacha.
This period in time of like the game, the stages that came out right now, it became more about like the challenge of doing it rather than trying to do it for other people or show it off. Some people still wanted to, but it at its core it was more about the challenge. There's one other thing you can talk about with Dark Web 3-star, which is the the wave bug, where what was it? Waves didn't do damage for like just an entire update. It didn't last very long.
It was something weird. I don't know exactly how it
Go
worked.
ahead.
I just know that waves, like,
they were broken.
most of the time didn't work, and your units would just run through shockwave scot-free and take no damage. And you can imagine that makes Dark Web really easy because the Doper never.
It's as if you got the Lucas God run where the Doper never procced. You're just building a stack on this Doper, no problem. So that
also translates to Manic Macho eggs.
Yeah.
Back when he was really hard.
Yeah, because it's annoying. So yeah, you know, that bug comes out in the Dark Web 3-star No Gacha. Everyone freaking does it, and it's like a meme. It's like, haha, I beat it. Look, this thing's so easy.
No problem.
It's like they're meat shielding with eraser cats because the Dover doesn't do anything. Like
such an insane run.
Yeah, there's a lot of
funny
things
run.
Huh?
So such an insane run, such a funny run.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can talk about Dark Web 3-star. It's like a kind of famous stage, I guess, just because it was.
I feel like it's still famous. People talk about it. Like they'll know it's hard, even though they'll come with Octo and beat it easily. But they'll know about like it's hard, it being hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can just look at it and be like, "Damn, what if I didn't bring Octo here?"
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who get walled at the stage because they just don't have Octo yet. They're just like, I think most people get it by then, but
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people hate shockwaves, so seeing a wave block unit is pretty enticing.
Yeah. Whose turn is it even?
Yeah, I just went, so.
Oh. We could talk about Momotaro Nerf. That one's pretty obscure, which is...
Yeah.
Momotaro Nerf only happened in JP, right?
I think so, yeah.
It only got to happen in JP.
Mm-hmm.
In the, like, way back when... Angel Cyclone? Yeah. Angel Cyclone and Ultra Souls came out, like, together. Same update. Momotaro came out as he was, however he was. And then the update, like, right after, he got, in his evolved form, his attack cycle got decreased?
Yes.
Yeah.
And something else maybe got changed? I can't remember. I just know his attack cycle got changed. And there was, like, if I remember correctly, there was, like, an uproar from JP players who, like, spent money to get this unit out of the gacha, and they went ahead and they nerfed it after people had spent money, and people were talking about... I mean, I don't remember how much of it is true, but people, like, talked about the legality of it, and, like, can you even do that? I just spent this money for a product that technically doesn't exist anymore. It was, like, super controversial for the time.
According to the BattleCats wiki, from version 2.8.0 to 2.9.1, the evolve form had its attack rate nerfed.
Yeah, there you go. And people were not happy about it.
It's also worth noting that the Angel Cyclone came out in the English version before we actually got the anti-Angel, like, rare cats and super rare cats.
All we had was Ultra Soul.
We just had the Ultra Soul Ubers.
Yeah, so if you didn't get an Ultra Soul Uber when the stage came out,
impossible.
You could not beat the stage. Like, it just wasn't good for you. It's one of the only... Well, they do it a lot, but it's not as bad nowadays.
They did used to do it more.
But they did it with Cyclone, but it was not exactly the same. You did get the rare unit, but there was only
had
the
unit.
Yeah, and he was not very good, but...
I don't do it as much, honestly, anymore. I remember back then that was always my mindset. Was like, well, X stage is going to be easier because in the future you make something better.
They're going to drop something like a month or two later, or however long from now.
Now it doesn't feel like it's that much anymore.
Gotta use those Jameera procs.
Yes, it definitely happens still. Like, look at like Water Conservancy, Happy Junior's Revenge, and it's like, good lord, this is like one of the hardest, like the hardest stages at the time. At least in my opinion, like tied up there with Floor 47. And then I think literally an update after Beefcake and Gatomiko get Surge Immune and make it a lot easier.
Right.
Like, it's really rare when you see stuff like that nowadays.
Yeah, that's it for that one. Your turn, Wuffa, if you'd like to pick something.
Let's go Chicken Cat.
Chicken Cat.
Another unit. Another unit that got changed and in fact just got deleted straight up in 8.7, if I recall.
Got changed to nothing.
Yeah. People know about this one a lot. If you go look at old videos, you'll see like some guy using Chicken Cat Uber Rare. It's a unit that was in the files. I don't know what it was used for at all. And essentially, it had a fast attack rate. Range. Or like
you lagged.
You
Did I?
lagged. Can you say that again?
Oh, what did I lag at?
You'd have to ask
explaining
that
Chicken
range.
Cat. Yeah.
Oh, basically Chicken Cat's an unused unit. It's just been in the files for a long time. It essentially did a high level shockwave.
Level 10.
So level 10, yeah. It shot shockwaves far away and it attacked really fast, so it'd be spamming shockwave kicks left and right.
I was gonna say it's kind of like a stronger version of current day Dark Lazer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it was a better
Dark
version.
Lazer.
Yeah.
No,
Pretty much the same.
worse.
Well, wasn't the shockwave was more common, right? If you wanted to use it for stack.
Good question.
Oh, is it 15? That's the same as Dark Lazer, isn't it?
With
I think it also has less range than Dark Lazer.
160. I'm on the wiki right now, just reading it off.
All right. Well, if you ever want to know what it was like to use Chicken Cat, just get Dark Lazer.
Yeah, if you want a better Chicken Cat, use Dark Lazer.
The only difference is the speed, I guess, or the major difference. He's fast.
Basically, it's an old unit. He did crazy shockwaves, and he looked really funny. People remember him. Eventually, he got deleted from the game, so he's gone now.
Unfortunately, the wiki does not say when he got deleted.
I think IT Stumbler said 8.7.
Okay. Oh, yep. I misread it. Yep, it is 8.7.
Okay.
I missed it.
Cool. All right, Ninja, you're up.
Oh, okay. Let's do. You can explain Mr. Ninja Fever.
Ninja Fever. This one is another like obscure collab one. There's been a couple in here like that. This one is just another obscure collab Ponos did with themselves. Before they had Battle Cats, they had their like Mr. series of games. It would be like Mr. and then a word, and it would be like a game of a stick man doing whatever the thing was for that game. And
Mr.
they had one like Mr. Ninja, and they eventually came out with a completely different game, but it was just also titled Mr. Ninja Fever. And it's kind of hard to describe how the game is played, but you play this little dude. You'd get attached to like a rotating circle, and when you pressed on the screen, you would fly off of the circle. It's like portrayed as a planet, so you fly off the planet, and you try to fly off in such a way that you land on the next planet, and then that one would be rotating at a different speed and clockwise or counterclockwise. So you just keep doing that like endlessly or like to the end of the level. And really long time ago, they collabed with themselves in Battle Cats, and one unit got into the game. You could only get it if you downloaded the game, if you downloaded Mr. Ninja Fever and you like played it for some amount of time or something like that. And the collab has never come back, and the game doesn't exist anymore. As far as I know, you can't download it anymore.
It's really gone?
I think so. I might be lying, but I'm pretty sure you can't download it anymore.
That's tragic.
Because I think in the app itself, the servers are down. It's been a while since I launched
makes sense. Right.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of not very popular. They had some cool unit designs in it, but that's about it.
The way of not being Battle Cats.
Yeah, that's like Ponos' thing. If it's not Battle Cats, it just isn't. It's just not as popular. Yeah, it's either like a one and done game, like the Face game that they made. Granted, that's like Battle Cats based, but like it's one and done like that, or it's like Kitaro.
Burgle Cats?
Yeah, Burgle Cats is actually the first example I can think of that isn't like any of the other ones. Like Burgle Cats feels pretty fleshed out, and granted, there's Kitaro and Kyoto, but they're like Japanese.
That's working
only.
Off the format.
Yeah, it's still Battle Cats, whereas Burgle Cats is an entirely like different game. It's just also Battle Cats franchise.
So far.
Yeah. Alright, that's it for that one. We could do Archer fan game, which I don't know a whole lot about. Like not anything specifically. I just know the person who made it, Harbage12, put out a thing about it a long time ago, and I don't know the last time he did an update for it even.
Me neither. I don't think it's been posted on the Reddit.
You can't tell by the title. It's obviously paying homage to that Archer Cat meme that we discussed.
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know if it actually is, but maybe.
Maybe
I
just
never
like
actually
Archer.
talked to the person. Yeah, maybe like Archer Cat.
I assume.
It was like a 8-bit or 16-bit styled game in the style of Mega Man is what this game was like supposed to be.
I believe it's 16-bit.
If you go on Reddit and you search up his username, which is Harbige12, HARBIGE12, I think is how you spell it. If you search up his name, it'll be one of his Reddit posts. It'll just be a clip of him playing this game. And I don't know if it ever got released, which is kind of what makes it so obscure. It did get released in full.
I played it. Well, I played when it had 4 bosses, being like I know Kalisa was one of them for sure, and I think Aluga, Jizo, something else.
Yeah, I remember Nekoluga as a boss. That's one I
remember. You could actually play it. It was a playable game at one point, at least like a beta, like a test build of it.
Yeah, whether or not it was a final, but yeah, it's
that
like
one's
pretty
really notable.
It's pretty obscure for how
at this
like
time,
high
I think it really is.
For how high quality it is. It's like he worked on it for a long time too. He posted a lot about it in Discords, and then finally made a Reddit post when he got to a playable point for it.
I wonder how that's going, and if BCU is like postponed him making that game. If it's been done the whole time, I just never looked it up.
What, the Archer fan game?
Archer Cat game. If he ever fully finished it.
I hope he did. And if he did, I wish more people knew about it. It's so
it's
like
no one talks about it anymore. Yeah. Just sad, 'cause it's a really well made thing.
Yeah, it's insanely high quality.
Two left. Here, give me a second. The name, it's HRBIGE12. I thought you said J.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a G. Is it your pick, Wuffa? You can decide our last two again.
Let's go Range Meat Shield Theory.
Range Meat Shield Theory. Do you want to talk about it? I feel like I've been talking a lot.
So, this refers back to a post by Caxer again. Well, I say again. Well, I guess the one was a Reddit post for No Plan A.
Yeah, No Plan A was.
So here's another post by Caxer, basically talking about how there's a new method of meat shielding units, which is pretty much having units with a bit more range than either your meat shields or your like stacked units.
Backline, yeah.
Yeah. To pretty much have it that the enemy has to stop and attack the like slightly out of range from your like Eraser Cat unit. He has to keep individually hitting these units that are stacking up behind him. And it's pretty much a way to stall the enemies even longer.
A great example of this is on Chapter 3 Moon. If you use Sexy Legs along with Dragon Cat, Sexy Legs stands closer to Bun Bun Teacher than Dragon Cat. So
yeah, it's an extra layer that Bun Bun has to go through.
An extra buffer, yeah. And if they stack up, like, obviously as he progresses forward, and the Sexy Legs, if they don't die, ones will stand farther behind it because Bun Bun's moved up, and obviously your units can't move backwards.
Yep, they're slightly standing.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you bring that one up. That's an older one, and that one's not the one that's in the Caxer one. The main one being in the Caxer one is Fungi. Yeah, from Mushroom Neo Garden. It's a reach shield with I think 190 range.
Yeah, it's slightly higher than Erasers. So he'll stack up against low range enemies that won't kill him in one hit. Or won't kill him by outrange, and it's the same idea, but you just do it even closer to the meat shield wall.
Right.
So the whole idea was, you just want to make your meat shielding even better. But at the time it was posted, at the time Caxer made this post, there wasn't enough units to like make it a real thing or something that was practical to do at least in like the closer range that he wanted. Whereas nowadays there's a lot more examples of it. There's
quite popular now.
Yeah, even if you're doing it indirectly, it's like quite popular. Like
Chapter is the indirect. I was saying.
Yeah,
sure.
Moon's a good one. People don't notice they've been doing it the whole time.
They don't realize it.
Yep.
Jiangxi kind of does it himself, does he not?
Apparently so. Yeah, we're talking about it. The biggest example is Cameraman. Cameraman's the most popular in my opinion when it comes to range meat shield. Just because of how good it is surviving, how you can spam it as the only unit, and they'll be sitting at so many different ranges.
Yeah. He's very tight too, because his slow movement speed and his fast recharge rate, he is just a great staller in general, just because of how tight he is in the line. Assuming you're not like screwing up your stall line. If you time it right, he's very tight.
Another thing to go back is I know people were saying that this is references the Lucas one, but Lucas is written off of like
Caxer's original post. Yeah. They're like they're built off of one.
So it goes a little bit deeper.
Yeah, there were people who thought it was the Lucas thing, but it's totally not. Which is it's an understandable what's the word? It's understandable to get that wrong.
It's just misinformation.
Yeah. Last thing, BattleCatch JP 6.0 Hitbox change, famous one. Famous for like the tier, I would say. I feel like, on the other hand, I guess not a lot of people remember it because it didn't come to EN. There's like the famous video. Well, what happened in GP 6.0 is I guess they were trialing this change they wanted, where in current Battle Cats, when a cat or an enemy gets knocked back, their hitbox is completely gone, and if you have a unit that's fast enough, you can just completely clip through it. They're effectively not there when they're knocked back in any state. So what this update changed is they just made it so they're solid when they get knocked back. So if, you know, a dragon cat is walking up to something, and it would keep walking because it got knocked back, he'll actually just stop every time he reaches 400 range. So he'll like stutter step as he gets close, because he'll keep reaching really 400 and then they'll keep getting knocked back. Like, because, you know, the knockback animation isn't instant. They don't just get pushed back however much distance. It's fluid. So he'll walk forward, stop, sees he's at 400, walk forward, stop, and keep doing it. And because I guess the idea is they wanted units to stop killing themselves, but it had a lot of like adverse effects.
Changed a lot of strategies.
It changed a lot. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or just clipping and jazzing, which is a funny one. Cosmo and Holy Valk look really funny if you can find videos of them.
Yeah, there were JP videos, maybe even by Uriboten, we talked about it earlier, but there's like Soimon-kun and
Seven as well, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of JP YouTubers. If they uploaded back then, I'm sure you can find a video of them showing off the change and how weird it looks. The greatest example is Cosmo, if you can find one. It looks so funny.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Finished with that tier finally. We're down to the Fathoms, the second deepest tier. This is stuff you're not gonna Google this stuff. And if you do, it's not straightforward if you do get to Google it.
One of them.
Few of them are like that. Only a couple are like that. Yeah. These are things that, you know, you'll probably have to ask someone who knows a lot about stuff. I don't even know where to start with this one. There's so many.
You're starting with BCCD because you're messed
BCCD.
up for running it like that.
So
difficulty.
BCCD is Ponos had this contest. Well, you know about the contest, don't you, Wuffa? You could explain that. I don't really know about the contest.
During a live stream event, they were doing... I can't exactly what the contest was. I don't know if it was like a raffle or a survey or if it was just random. I think I said it was just randomly picked viewers or like people in the stream or like during the stream, like in it. If you won, you basically got a Battle Cats soundtrack CD.
Mm-hmm.
Just with, you know, what did you
Yeah,
expect?
it had
unique art, unique CD art, and
it
had
had
soundtrack.
the OST for Battle Cats, the OST of like 12 songs total.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know how much actually has in it.
It probably is like a 12-minute playtime. It's like
that is
so short.
Into the future.
But yeah, I put it down as BCCD because
Battle Cat CD.
It's the Battle Cat CD. I intentionally wrote it like that, meaning to be like a little mean with it and throw some people off. But yeah, that's all it stands for. It stands for Battle Cats CD. And yeah, something you could win from a contest way back when. Apparently you can purchase it now? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You can, yep.
Yeah. Off of like some Japanese website, but yeah, that is where it came from. What next? I'll let you Pignan go. Wuffa chose BCCD.
Okay. I like Ogre Cat. Ogre Cat's a fun one.
You can explain Ogre Cat, you know about it.
If you played Battle Cats Pop, the 3DS version of the Battle Cats.
One of the 10 people who played it.
Including
the two of us. Or three.
Wuffa 2.
Yeah.
He played the Japanese version. Dude, oh my god, I can't even remember the unit's name.
The actual unit, what Ogre Cat
Lesser
is.
Demon?
It's Lesser Demon.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. My brain wants to say Marauder Cat, but yes, Lesser Demon. Called Ogre Cat.
Yeah, he's just called Ogre Cat for some reason.
Straight up called Ogre Cat.
It's not even any deeper than that. It's just for in Battle Cats Pop, some units are just named differently, and Lesser Demon's called Ogre Cat for some reason. It's funny you bring up. It's funny you bring up Marauder because his name is different too.
Right.
He's called Berserk Cat, and it's spelled Berserk and then AT, spelled exactly as it sounds.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, it's
spelled with a K. Berserk Cat.
That's weird.
Yeah, there are tons of units like that. Like in Battle Cats Pop, there's 2 Flasher Cats. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
There's Hip Hop, like the evolved form of Hip Hop, which is Dancing Flasher in the mobile game. But in BC Pop, they don't have room like they don't have enough space to write out Dancing Flasher, so he's literally just called Flasher Cat. But there's another cat, the event cat, which is called Flasher Cat, the one where he like opens up his yellow jacket and he flashes people. But in Battlecat's Pop, there's also not enough text to write his full name, so he's just called Flasher Cat. So there's two cats called exactly the same thing, two completely different cats called the same thing in this version of the game. So yeah, it just is meant to reference all the weird names for cat units inside Battlecat's Pop.
Because I am who I am, I need to make a point about Crazed Titan's name. I honestly, I don't remember specifically. I just know that it's either C, like the letter C dot like M, like for Crazed Mythical Titan Cat. It's either like C Mythical Titan Cat or like CM Titan Cat, something like that, because there's not enough space for Crazed Mythical Titan Cat.
I think it's Mythical because I remember it sounded funny.
Yeah.
It sounded like his evolved name.
Yeah.
Not even his crazed name.
Yep.
So my go or
Wuffa turn? Yeah.
Wuffa, what do you want to talk about?
Someone should lead Someone should lead after me and pick Chillhola ARG because I'm picking I Am Chillhola Incident.
We can talk about because we do have to talk about that. We can talk about Chillhola ARG, which is for an event. It was like some subscriber milestone. Chillhola put out an ARG, which, if you don't know what ARG is, it's just like a puzzle. It's like an online puzzle thing where a bunch of the clues are all spread out across different places and you have to find them all. And at the end of this ARG he made, it was supposed to link to a video with his face reveal. And it was like it was actually, I remember there were people you would think would be able to solve it very, very easily. And even those people had a very hard time figuring it out. Cryptic. Yeah, it was extremely hard to do. And it took quite a while for the ARG to be solved.
First person to do it was Juliet Cat, if I recall.
Yeah.
Lucas was very close.
Juliet Cat's a very user to figure it out.
That's about it for that one. It's just not many people know about it, and even though a lot of people participated, not many people got like very deep into it because it was so difficult. So,
quite hard.
Yeah.
All right, all you, Wuffa.
All right, so people were mixing up Chillhola ARG with Chillhola or I Am Chillhola Incident. They're not related at all. This is something you would only really see if you are a bit of an older player around like the Chillhola spike. So if you just typed in Chillhola during like his booming period, you'd get this video, like the first result, and it would be just called I Am Chillhola, and it's just this random dude talking about I don't know what, but it's literally just called I Am Chillhola, and it's not Chillhola. So you click on it, and it's just like this kid talking, and people it was not very well received. There's a lot of dislikes on it, and it's just gone now. The guy deleted it. That's pretty much all it refers to. Yep. The video title is I Am Chillhola. It's just a very funny video. If you were there at the time, you probably remember just typing in Chillhola, and that was the result. And you clicked and it was like, what is this?
It had a ton of views, didn't it? Just because
it had a good amount of views.
It was just because. It's the first result when you typed it in.
Yep.
And it's just
at the very least top 4 because you'd see it when you type it in. And it's like, let's see it.
Yeah.
There's a good amount of views on it and a good amount of dislikes. It was a funny video.
It disappeared. It's gone. This guy impersonated Chillhola, and now he's gone. Disappeared.
I tried to way back it. It's not there.
The video's gone forever. You can't find it.
Which is tragic.
Mm-hmm. You can pick this one, Ninga. I can't get the line. No. My purple line.
Close enough. So there's this in version 5.0, I'm talking about the D-Nut energy glitch warning. In version 5.0, they basically made it so you had to be connected to the internet to energy glitch, or connected to the internet to get your energy regenerated. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's how it is. Right. I just don't want to speak it correctly.
Version
but
5, yeah.
Yeah, it was version 5, yeah. And everyone on the subreddit was up in arms about this because, oh my god, I can't energy glitch to farm my XP or my cat tickets and my rare tickets. What am I going to do?
Or
progress. And this YouTube channel pops up around this time, and he made this person made a video. It was just complete clickbait, just saying how to energy glitch in version 5.0. And you click on the video and it's just ear rape. It's straight up all it is. And he's made videos on the same day every year since, and they're all essentially shit
just
posts.
Just a random dude.
Yep.
No one knows.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about him.
Yeah, not much else to say about it. It's just what?
It's
wow, the warning is very literal. Be careful. Careful search it up. Yeah. Except for that one, we could talk about the BC Scratch games because that one is both obscure and there's not a whole lot to say about it. That is all you. It's back in like 2019. This someone we know named Frostfire Soul sent us like just randomly we're browsing through a bunch of Battle Cat stuff like we do sometimes, and he scratches this website where you can make these like very rudimentary web games
with block code.
Yeah, and people made Battle Cats games with it, and obviously they're very like super low quality, and they have like all these custom units, and they don't look very good, and the games are super buggy. And there were these competitions that we would hold with or we'd hold like to beat this particular game as fast as you could. You'd have like these world records for this stupid Scratch game that no one's ever played. But really, it's just meant to talk about like this. There's like a ton of these Battle Cat Scratch games if you go on that website. There's so many, and they're all like, oh my god, there's so much crazy stuff you can find on it. It isn't super deep in the sense of hard to know about, but it's like its own rabbit hole. Like you dive down, you'll find this one guy made like 10 different Scratch games. It's like Battle Cats number 8 Revenge of Custom Unit I made. Like it's own crazy rabbit hole to dive down, and if you ever like want to find some crazy stuff to look at. So yeah, that's all that is. Just very, yet again, like something insanely obscure like almost no one knows about. Not in large. It's up to you, Wuffa. Your turn for something we can talk about.
Let's do Kumanchu Royale.
That's a good one. I definitely like that one.
It's on you guys.
You want to go, Ninja? You seem to be going deep into Kumanchu Royale recently.
Basically, so I need to. This references the quote-unquote Battle Bears game, I believe, right?
Yeah. Kumanchu Royale is meant to be Battle Bears.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I get this right.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, okay, basically, we're not sure if this game was prior to Battle Cats or if Battle Cats came first and this was some sort of like sequel. I feel like it came before then, but some people have been saying otherwise. And honestly, just the lack of information on the game itself is what makes it so interesting to me personally.
Well, you have to know it's like this is during a different era of mobile games. This is during flip phone mobile games.
I don't believe the phone itself. Maybe it was a flip phone. I don't quite remember. It would take me a minute to find it, but
maybe flip phone is exaggerating, but
I did find a list of compatible devices for the game.
And one of them is a flip phone. Is it that insane?
I remember looking for it on eBay.
Essentially, just think of it as before smartphone.
Yes.
Yeah, this is pre-smartphones. Is just an easy way to say it. This is like
pre-smartphone Battle Cat. So you're not meat shielding with tapping. You're meat shielding with the D-pad.
Yeah, you're doing it with buttons. Well, yeah, whatever the D-pad is on this phone that you're using.
Just imagine that.
And yeah,
Kumanchu Royale is way more interesting to talk about because, like, if you just say it with Battle Cats, it'll still be cool because, like, wow, it's old on some old hardware, software, or hardware. But Kumanchu Royale is way more interesting because it's like completely just different sprites. It's like the same units functionally. Like you can tell, like, oh, this cat's supposed to be a Dragon Cat. This one is Tank Cat, but like it's a bear.
Yep, they're bear. Basically, they're bear versions.
It's really cool, and there's unique enemies in that too. There's you can fight Moai.
You can fight Moai, and one of the enemies resurfaced.
Yes,
which is why
Royale is getting picked up again.
Yeah, and even before that unit, there's been like small references to it, right? Like Musashi is very similar to one of them.
Yep, yeah. I made that Reddit post talking about it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Musashi is very similar
The
to
sword.
Very similar to the would be the Titan Cat of
the sword
games.
looks the same. The like animation for
Well,
attacking.
really, it's like the fact that he's like chained up, really, and or he's controlled like by chains, really. And I believe this is a subscription.
Oh, really?
Just from looking at the website, because this website is still up. Just for like, general information about it.
I'm glad it's still up.
I should way back it.
Should.
Just bookmark it or something.
One last thing I want to add, but Kumanchu Royale is coming up again because of Merlion being added in the recent update.
Which was an enemy of the game.
Yeah, it's a straight rip from Kumanchu Royale.
Yeah, same jank animations. He's literally like bounce.
It is this
squishes and squash.
Yeah, moves. When I say straight rip, I almost mean it literally. Like it does look exactly the same.
I found one of the phones.
Really?
It's the FOMA 903i is one of the phones. Oh, here's the list. Yeah, like, and I've tried looking this stuff up, and I tried looking on eBay, and I can't find it.
It's really hard to get a hold of Kumanchu Royale.
Yeah, I'm finding anything about Kumanchu Royale.
I believe the game is like I said, I believe it was like some kind of subscription base, because obviously mobile games on those phones were handled differently. There wasn't a strict app store, from what I understand. Like I think right here, this one's talking about having a Yahoo account. Here's another provider. I don't know what it says, but yeah, very, very interesting. And I really like the music.
Super obscure. If you like try and search up stuff about Kumanchu Royale, you can find things, but they don't lead you anywhere. It's like a crazy thing.
Lots of
end up looping to a cycle of the same videos.
Lots of dead links.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the music. A lot of the music from the base game, pretty much all of EOC's soundtrack is
the same,
actually. Right? The music, like I guess the format of the music is the same, but it's a different sound font, I guess is the best way I can put it, just to fit the phones. Obviously, the hardware was much worse in terms of speakers and stuff like that. And I really like the way it sounds.
Yep. All right, what next? Whose turn is it even?
It's Ninga's turn.
Oh, is it? Oh, right, because you picked. Yeah. Let's do the infinite unit dupe. Just because we're on old stuff.
Apparently, apparently it's happened before.
It's possible to do it or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say apparently it's happened more than just the one time I was thinking of when I brought it up when making the iceberg. But
I can confirm with 100% certainty. I even have a video of me doing it on my phone that I can upload unlisted, and you can link in the description if you want. If I feel like doing it. Prior to version 3.0, you could just have duplicates of the same unit on.
Yeah, it was like it was a bug that was technically in the game for a long time. Well, I guess you never really know, but you just had to figure out how to do it. It was out around the same time as all of the special awakening stages, and which is like version 2 era. And
I got it working as late as version 2.1.
Let's go. There's some hard stages around that time still.
Yeah.
So
I remember I remember the bug so well because I actually used the bug to beat a stage that came out. Like I couldn't beat the stage normally, so it was Mr. Awakens, which was super hard stage at the time. The strategy for that stage was you would stack Crazed Bahamut's in Ururun at the beginning, but I couldn't get enough of them stacked up. So what I did is I just duped a Bahamut and I duped an Ururun. So my bottom row was Ururun, Bahamut. And I played the stage, so I got 4 Bahamuts stacked up with only the time of stacking a second one. So it was.
Gosh, what a great time!
It was insanely good, and I mean,
that now.
I just know
Bahamuts.
You just used it to beat like any stage you wanted to. You could dupe any unit. There was no restriction.
I just know that version 3 for English, the Into the Future update, I just know that was the quote unquote first time it was patched, because apparently you're able to do it some other times, but I've never been able to get it working.
Yeah,
that's not to say it doesn't exist, but
in lineup would be your answer for that one.
I was gonna say, if you have a lineup that's duped right now, it doesn't work, right? It like wipes
you get an error. It says please organize your cats, if I recall.
Yeah. It's something to the effect of you can't use this lineup, it's invalid. Yeah. If you've been holding one all that time.
Which is, if you did that, you're a gamer and you should that lineup.
It's just a fail safe. They were like, oh, we can't have this happen again.
Especially not now.
It's better that I'm glad that they did that instead of just wiping it clean. That would suck.
Yeah, you get to have your novelty.
Yep, very cool.
Let's talk about illegal cat combos. It's a fun one.
That kind of ties in with. I guess it really doesn't. I was just saying lineups and stuff like that. But
yeah,
illegal cat combo is pretty big.
Yeah, the term for it is vague, but what it references to is when cat combos came out. There were all kinds of cat combos that did all sorts of things, and there was, I guess there were no restrictions on what the cat combos could be made of. So Ponos made cat combos that were like completely insane. For example, you have a Nekoluga cat combo that was themed around the Lugas, and to activate the cat combo, you had to have all 5 Lugas. So, like, basically no one had it except hackers. Like, those were the only people with edited saves were the only people that could use these cat combos. And eventually, Ponos presumably got in trouble for having these cat combos existing, and they had to take them out of the game. They got completely removed and replaced, like, ones with the same effect, because there is a law in Japan about, for like mobile games, or maybe it's just gambling in general, that you can't have two things that you must obtain from gambling in order to get a reward. So for example, in cat combos, if you have a rare cat and a super rare cat in the same combo, that combo is not allowed because you get both of them from gambling, and so you just can't do it. So nowadays, if you look at cat combos, none of them have 2 cats that you obtain from gambling gachas. You get it doesn't exist anymore, which is what illegal cat combos refers to. Those old cat combos that you can't use anymore, they got taken out because they were illegal. Ponos would have gotten sued by someone eventually. So yeah, that's
by
that.
a lady in luck.
Huh?
By a lady in luck. He brought it up.
I was gonna say, let's not do lady in luck yet. I need to drink a drink. My throat's dry.
Too late now. I'm starting it.
Go for it. I can add on.
You're gonna have to finish off for me. Okay. So a lady in luck refers to an old Reddit user. He is
Discord.
Yeah, he's no longer associated with Battlecat's community anymore. He just like kind of dropped off randomly. He pretty much, the joke was that he was a Ponos employee because he like predicted a lot of things just like months ahead of time.
Extremely accurately.
They accurately lined up to them. Things like when Manix would come out, like what month they would come out. Like specific things like crazy like game facts we wouldn't know, like LD spending money and all that stuff, just like crazy stuff outside the game as well.
He would like link to these websites that have full statistics for like money spent on games in regions, like super detailed statistics that you wouldn't expect.
Person isn't gonna like go look for it.
So he's like very deep into it, and you combo that stuff with
his accurate leaks.
He was so suspicious in that way that it was always a running joke that this guy, maybe he was secretly working for Ponos and he just leaks it for fun because
he's an insider for them.
Yeah, it's just like his thing.
It's a shame that he was in the toxic server.
Yeah. He would post these weekly these weekly threads on every day.
Wednesdays digress.
Yeah, they were called digresses. He would just post about whatever thing he was thinking about.
It was Wednesdays, right? Wednesdays digress. Is that right?
I think it was Thursdays, but it was a weekday.
I just thought it was something digress.
Yeah, he would call them his digresses, and he would just talk about whether it was Battle Cats related or not. Most of the time, he would talk about Battle Cats, but he would talk about things he didn't like in Battle Cats that he did like in other mobile games. Like he played Puzzles and Dragons a lot. He would talk about how that game did, I don't know, this mechanic is really good in this game, and in Battle Cats they do it terrible, or like their update schedule is so... It's exactly the same. He sounded like a disgruntled employee that hates the company he works at. It was like, maybe that's why he decided to leak everything. Like,
out of spite, yeah.
He didn't like Ponos. He didn't like working there. So yeah, it's
all speculation, but
just a running joke, a really old one. You wouldn't know if you weren't around back then. Even if you were, you probably might not have heard of it. Go for it, Ninja. It's up. Your turn to pick one.
Turn. All right, well, I'm gonna pick this one, and Wuffa can do the explanation for it. Crazed Kory.
Crazed Kory. Hey, this goes back to cattle bats.
It does.
Not even cattle bats, but There's another one that's even deeper down than Cattlebots. There was a Cattlebots 2 trailer that I made because I wanted to make a second one to be more like just full joke and original and not just MLG edit. And in the trailer, I talk about Crazed Kory because this is at the time where Kory was actually threatening. I mean, nowadays Kory kind of gets blasted by Octo and Super unless the stage is like complete garbage. But yeah, so the thought of just like a Crazed Kory was like, oh my gosh, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
And then he fast forward to an April Fool's joke, and Caxter makes a post that was like some edit of Crazed Kory, and it looks really funny. Like, it actually looks like a Crazed Cat, but it's like super JPEG and crusty.
Yeah, it's Kory with basically the Crazed Cat like color palette.
Yeah, but it's like edited really badly, and like it just doesn't look good at all.
So, yeah. Crazed Kory just refers to those two things: the Reddit post and the video.
And it was funny when Berserk Kory came out. It was like that was the Crazed Kory. He's
fine. I think Martin came first, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Crazed Kory!" And then Berserker came out. Wait, this is the real Crazed Kory.
I remember Martin was like, "Oh my gosh, Ponos did it. They made Crazed Kory." And then Berserker comes out. Oh my god, you see those
Crazed Kory?
The actual Crazed Kory.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the joke's pretty dead now. So
it's been a long time.
Kory.
I know the image. Did you use it from the comic for Crazed Kory in the trailer? Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about? The image that you.
Yes. I used the 4-Koma BC manga image of Kory sitting with Gory. Yep. Yes, the Crazed Kory
image. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We could
something like that.
We could bounce off of that and talk about the BC manga 4-Koma.
Go for it.
You know about the 4-Koma a little bit, but the BC manga. Well, all I really know about the BC manga is what White translated. It was like a. Is there another name he went by? I can't remember his full like Reddit username.
It was just White. It was just White.
Something like that.
It's something like that, but he was the dude who translated the Battle Cats manga that was getting released for a while. If there was like a JP exclusive unit called Nora, and the BC manga features that unit. That's like where it comes from. And he would translate the manga regularly and post it to the Reddit. But the 4-Koma is like even older than that. It's yeah, you can talk about that. I don't really know about it super well.
4-Koma kind of relates to just like simple little Battle Cats. If you know what a 4-Koma is, it's like just 4-page or like four panels.
4-panel. Yep, that's the word.
Yes, 4-panel, like just short stories, pretty much. There's like a bunch of lore in them, like how Crazed Cats came to be, if I recall, Princess Pun, Baby Cat's mom, a bunch of random things in it.
Like how Gory decided he wanted to become Black Gory.
Yeah. Stuff like that. You can see like images of Gory and Kory sitting together. Some funny stuff in that.
Where were all of those found? Like, where do you even find them if you wanted to?
I don't even remember.
I have 3 saved. I have 3 saved.
You just have them.
That's something you have to ask certain people, like on Wiki or like IT Stumbler.
Yeah.
And manga is different because manga is like its own story. Honestly, Nora, the tank cat with the scarf. It's like OCs. It's cool. It's a good story. Something else about the BC manga is the White translated one's kind of full of a lot of inside jokes and memes.
Yeah.
And I know people wanted a more serious one.
White's a freaking memer. It's up your turn, Wuffa.
Me? Oh, how about Sean? Sean nerfing Growing Strange. That's like double. So, Ponos did the first, like, as we joked, the first Battle Cats meetup, where like Ponos held an event and you can go meet like the developers, go like against the developers head to head in like a speedrun race. And during this event, this is when Growing Strange was new, and this is pre-nerf Growing Strange, where it was absurdly hard and you needed an insane boost, and it was still hard
at the time of the update. Like, this is the first version of Growing Strange, I think. Yeah.
It was some BS. Continue.
Pretty bad. And one of the translators there, Sean, people were just going up to him. We were joking, like we were in causes. They were at the at Ponos Con, as we call it, and we're like, you gotta tell him to nerf Growing Strange. So everyone just walked up and just told him, hey man, this shit's awful. Can we nerf it? And he's like, I think I'll talk to them. And an update after in JP, I'm pretty sure Growing Strange got nerfed.
Yeah.
Just link it back to Sean nerfing it was all requesting it during the Ponos Con.
Yeah, it was all thanks to the Singaporean players who went to Singaporean players and the people who traveled out, and they went up to Mr. Sean Coble and said, "Please, Sean, please make them nerf Growing Strange." So, that's like where it comes from. Is that con is, that's why I got nerfed. He's the reason.
Yeah.
Without
Yep,
Sean, without Sean, where would we be?
It was prior to version 8, according
Yeah.
to the BattleCats wiki.
Yep.
Up to you, Ninja. You can pick one.
BattleCats real final boss.
Wait, did we?
It's an old
Did
video.
we see right after Growing Strange came out and got nerfed?
Huh?
Did we? I forgot what we said for that. Never mind.
Just now?
If we said that, then I don't know if I did, but I'm gonna correct it.
It just said prior on the wiki. It just said prior to version 8.
No, I mean what we said.
Oh. Go ahead.
If I messed it up, let me correct myself. I don't know if I did, but Growing Change came out and it went a good amount of updates before it got nerfed. It wasn't until Pono's Con, then after it got nerfed.
Was it right after Lucas made his video about Growing Strange?
Well, that was like on release, so it was definitely after it.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Growing Strange.
Same with Reddit.
Yeah.
It was definitely after that. You can link the source because just take that date of that video and find the video where Sean's saying buff Growing Strange. Because that's Pono's Con event.
Yes. Well, not only do you... There's not just the buff Growing Strange video. Lucas has his video from the con where he plays against Sean. Yeah. And that's uploaded from like the same day.
Yeah. So you can just compare that and you can see the gap between pretty much when we roughly had strongest shit Growing Strange and then slightly less strongest shit Growing Strange.
I'm sure. Yeah. You want to talk about real final boss? This one is actually kind of a joke in terms of how deep it is. Like, you can actually... This one, if you Google it exactly as typed with 2 L's in final, you'll find the exact video it's referencing. If you Google it verbatim. So it's one of the easiest to find out from this, like, bottom section. But, this video... It's in reference to a super old school video. How old is it? Did you just pull it up? It sounded like...
I'm looking. Hold on.
Okay. This video is, like, super old. It's, like, beginning of BattleCats type old. And it's just like a video of, it's just some JP event stage, right? And
they're against Mega
stage.
Yeah, they're fighting against Mega Cat. And that's literally it. He's just playing this JP event stage fighting Mega Cat, and he just titled this random guy titled his video "BattleCat's Real Final Boss." And it got
everyone got this video
popular.
Recommended.
Yes.
Yep.
If you were an OG BattleCat, you would randomly always pop up on your side and be like, what? I need to watch it. And like, this is version JP. People don't even know what JP version existed, so it's like super confusing.
Yeah, it was so weird because there's nothing special about it. It's just like this random video just called BattleCat's Real Final Boss.
And I'm gonna be honest, I can't find it.
You should just be able to Google it exactly.
Go on YouTube and just type in BattleCat's Real Final Boss and don't let it autocorrect you.
Yeah.
It popped up for me instantly.
Yeah, that's that one.
That's a good one. That's a classic.
Mm-hmm. If it's my turn, which I think it is, you should explain the Manic Flying Frame 4 attack, Wuffa. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay. So, essentially, when Manic Flying came out, like the very first, like release during that like Manic Festival, Manic Flying's attack was a bit different, and before he actually shot his laser, I don't even know what to call his laser plasma ball.
Sure.
It would kill your units before it even landed. I don't know if it's exactly frame 4. We just read off someone that said it. I'm pretty sure I looked at it and it's not frame 4. I'm just dumb. But this just refers to back then. The very early Manic Flying runs were like that. You just had Manic Flying killing your units faster than his actual animation landed.
For like it looked like no reason. Like your cats would just died as something else, and you're like, what happened?
It's very weird. It didn't really change too much, honestly, but it was just a very weird thing.
Yeah.
It's since been fixed, of course.
Yeah.
Now it actually lines up.
Pretty simple one, just like no one knows about it. It's like so old and such niche knowledge.
You'll definitely find if you just type in like, Forest Beast and like look at original uploads.
I was gonna say it's kind of comparable to like the Yulala hitbox thing if it happened way before. Because like if the Yulala hitbox thing happened way like in 2017, it would probably be just as obscure. Like people wouldn't remember it.
Yeah. People definitely have scars from the Yulala one.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
Those are the last two.
Go PvZ.
PvZ. Do you want to talk about it?
PvZ Collab is a great one. This is an April Fool's joke. A very well done April Fool's joke done by Viking Skirts and a few of her friends. So it pretty much just refers to a post, like it's a really nice, well done image of like PvZ heroes.
The mobile game, yeah.
The mobile game meets Feline, and it's like there's always on the side, and then the battle cats on the other side. And it just looks like this really well done collab. Like, it looks super
well produced and official, yeah.
So people are like, oh my gosh, wait, this looks good. When are we getting this? And then you just go down like the comment section, you read into like, wait a minute, this is fake.
Yeah, it was made by Viking Skirts, who was the subreddit moderator for Plants vs Zombies Heroes, like that mobile game. She like did it of her own accord. She didn't even contact like any of the Battle Cats people that she was doing this thing, really. At least not that I recall. She just like did it on a whim. So it gets posted to the Battle Cats Reddit, and no one knows what's going on. Like, and I think she did it just because she enjoyed the game. Like, she had found it through other people, and she was just like, "Do you know how awesome it'd be if they collabed with this game?" Because it was popular among like a bunch of Plants vs Zombies hero players at the time. So it was like, we should do a collab. And she was like, well, guess what? It's April Fool's. The collab's here.
Yeah. If you go into it, you'll find the post, and you can see like even like original designs. You can see like a nice.
Yeah, it was more than just like an announcement post. There was extra. It was like there was a lot of stuff that got made with it to really try and sell that it was real. Unfortunately, it did very legitimately bait some people. Unsurprisingly, it hurt. All right, last thing is official 3D models. This is in reference to Princess Punt, which is in Princess Punt, the whole game is like it's in 3D, and during the Battle Cats collab with Princess Punt, they have Battle Cats units in the game, and they have 3D models of a bunch of different cats. Yeah. I actually don't know how many of the different cats there are, but like the famous one is Bahamut Cat is featured in. He looks so ugly. Like he's featured in the Princess Punt game, and he looks just awful. He looks so bad. And it's the only existing like a quote official, official 3D models of Battle Cats like anywhere that, and they're not made by Ponos even, so. It's just the closest thing you'll find to any 3D models. That one's pretty straightforward. It's kind of a misdirection even by saying official instead of saying Princess Punt.
This is official. This is it.
This is the last tier. This is Abyss tier. This is stuff that it doesn't matter how long you've been in the community, you probably won't know it. Like, you could have been here since day one, and some of the stuff you'll just have never heard of. Like when we were making this among ourselves, it was like, what does this one even mean? Like, yeah.
Like one person say, "Well, you gotta put this in the screen," and like half the everyone's like,
"What? This. What? Can you explain it? Are you sure?" Because
this one's gonna be a bit funny because this one's a mix of. There's real cuts in it. There's like actual like in-game ones.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not exactly in Battle Cats, but like in other games that have Battle Cats
stuff in it. Actual official things.
Some of them are a little cheaty, but it's like it's
for the fun of it.
Yeah.
There's some bigger community ones. So.
The first one we'll do is we'll do the dev testing stage, which is something that's straight up in the game. Dev testing stage is in reference to a placeholder stage that was in the game for a long time. Well, I don't know if it was in there for a long time, but
at one point it at least existed.
Yeah, you would go and play this stage. You would get like hackers would go and play this placeholder stage because they would try and they'd see some placeholder stage got added and they want to see if there's something in the game yet that isn't ready to be played. And what was actually there was this placeholder stage where it has Gentleman Bros, the enemy that you get from his stage, and he's comboed with Kleewunnel, like from No Plan A, and they're just comboed together. And I think there's another enemy in it. Isn't there a Sleipnir in it? I can't remember, but it's like it's those two at least, and the synergy is terrible. They're impossible to fight. Like, it's one of the hardest stages ever conceived, and it's like just this random placeholder stage. So it got joked around as the dev testing stage. This is how Ponos tested units, is they'd send them against the synergy and like
almost impossible thing.
if they can beat this, they're good.
But it's definitely there. Was there.
It's super hard to find info on. You have to like talk to very specific people to learn about it. I don't know if it's even on Reddit anywhere or like on the wiki. It might be on the wiki somewhere, but I doubt it. Yeah, super, super obscure. Hence why it's here. Next one we're gonna do, I'll let you take it, Wuffa.
We should do You've Earned My Respect.
That's a great one. I thought we were gonna do this one.
I wanted to do it, but then I saw You've Earned My Respect, and
okay,
it always
we'll do that first.
We'll do Platinum after.
Yeah, go for it. I'll let you.
Okay, so a lot of you guys know that we collabed with Crash Fever, and that's nothing too crazy. But it's not on here because Crash Fever is actually an Abyss tier with You've Earned My Respect quote. This one's kind of cheesy too, but in that game, like the units talk, like Cat talks and Nurse Cat talks, Holy Valve talks.
It's like that just in the regular game. Like you find a normal enemy and it'll have a voice line.
Yeah, so they had to give them dialogue to the Battle Cats too. This would probably be weird. And you go up against Bahamut Cat in this game, in like some wizard stage, and this is actually kind of hard to find an image of. I remember it, but like going back to research it, I only found like one YouTube video that had it. When you beat Bahamut, there's a line he says, and it's "You've earned my respect," and it's just so funny, so obscure. Bahamut talking.
It's such like a funny line. It's the only time Bahamut Cat has talked like ever in a game. Maybe he's talked in like a Fort Coma or a manga, but in any games, the only time Bahamut's said anything.
You've earned my respect.
And he says "You've earned my respect" after you like completely destroy him. And it was such a funny phrase. There were other phrases too that he would say. It wasn't just this one, but the phrases were so funny. It was just like. A lot of people that played Battle Cats at the time, like we talked about Alichi, he's someone who like super plays Crash Fever now, and like that group of people got really hard into Crash Fever, and this phrase just like this phrase and other ones just oh my god, they lasted forever. It's like you do something stupid and you've earned my respect, Nurse Wuffa, you've earned my respect. Like you make like you send a screenshot of you beating a heart stage in Battle Cats and like five different people. You've earned my respect, Mr. Whoever. Like
it's a good one.
Such a funny phrase, but it's unbelievably obscure. It's not even directly in Battle Cats.
I don't know the chances, but it's hard to find it because I looked in the Crash Fever videos and like only one of them had him saying that line.
I don't know if Crash Fever does reruns of their collab when Battle Cats does the reruns. So I don't even know if like you play Crash Fever, you would be able to see them anymore. Cause like, yeah, if they don't rerun it, how do you even see them anymore? Your best bet is finding the YouTube videos, and then good luck, knowing that it's that one. So that one's a little bit mean, but it's insanely obscure. We just had to include it.
It's a funny one. You gotta have Bahamut talking in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just worded in a mean way.
All right, platinum codes. What's up about platinum codes?
That's you. You're the camcord guy.
I am the camcord guy. It's a camcord exclusive, but
yeah. Just talk about camcord first.
Yeah, it kind of has to do with camcord. We talked about friend codes earlier, and we talked about how like on any media you'd post a video on Battle Cats, and in the comments people would
add my code.
Yeah, they'd say add my code F5477. Like, please give me Monaco. But some people were more devious and not very nice people, and Battle Cats. Yeah, Battle Cats used they in the in-game recording, because Battle Cats used to have in-game recording called camcord. You could record in game and then upload to this like third-party service, and you could do it all within the Battle Cats app. It was like all there, and even on those videos, there was no way to moderate your own comments, so people would just like they would spam your comments, say add my code, but the spam got so strong that people had to find a new way to get you to add your code. So they got insidious with it, and they said, guys, I've got a developer code, I've got a platinum code, 5 uses left. This is my code.
Cat food.
If you add my platinum code, you get 500 cat food, not a normal code. This best code, add right here.
So
this is, again, referencing the add my code system, where people would just use whatever the stupidest bait they possibly
deeper
could.
layer to it.
This is in reference to the platinum dev codes,
And
don't exist, by the way. If you're wondering, they don't exist.
Yes, they are
Every code's
completely
the
fake.
same.
Nobody's code is any
Lucas.
better.
Hey, Lucas.
Hey there. Yeah, it's platinum codes are not any better than a regular code. They're completely fake and they're just total bait to get you to use their code.
And just to add, everyone knows that the real ones got their second device and uninstalled and reinstalled the game over and over.
Yeah, that's what most people did. But for people who
Sure.
couldn't do that, there was someone named Easy Monaco on the BattleCat subreddit named Easy Monaco because he was a programmer who made a program. He made a program. You would input it. I don't remember exactly how it worked, but
essentially you input it would just you would go to it's he had it on his website. He had other stuff on there too, like just like decrypting files and stuff like that, like enemy stats and animations and stuff way back in the day, like 2014, 2015. And he basically you would just input your friend code and it would, from what I understand, the game basically thought you were like talking to like Ponos' servers, which like, you know, interacted with the saves and stuff like that, from what I understand. And it basically was like you could just input it and it thought you were giving it to different people.
Yes.
And yeah, it allowed you to get Monaco really easily.
Yeah, you just type in your code. You just send your code to this website 10 times, or however you don't. Yeah. You give your you'd give your code to this website, and you'd get Monaco. You wouldn't have to, you know, put your platinum codes in someone's YouTube comments and spam their YouTube comments, and you'd get Monaco. So of course, he's named after that idea. That's why he's called Easy Monaco, because he wanted people to get Monaco easier.
And the cease and desist is a little bit kind of a fib, if you will. It really, what it is, it's a DMCA, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was a DMCA.
Basically, Ponos was like, yo, this is not cool. You can't like, you know, take our he did a lot of reverse engineering. He was able to basically take event data and change it. I've also got it working successfully. Back in the day, you could you'd use like a what's the word I'm looking, like Fiddler, for example, is a good program to use. There's also like you could run a Python script, and it basically, the game, you connected your phone to the, I can't think of the word. Oh gosh.
Just whatever server you mean?
It's a proxy, sorry. Yeah. Sure. You connect to it and then you load up the game and it connects to your custom event data. So you could give yourself cat food, XP.
Yeah, you play the stage and it drops however much cat food you put in your own custom event data.
Special stages of play, or I misspoke. You can tell it what stages you want to appear, like event stages. And he reverse engineered all this stuff. And Ponos was like, "You can't do this," and he had to take all this stuff down.
Yeah, this website he hosted for this purpose, they sent him a DMCA, and this is like, to put it into context, this is like really early BattleCats community. So for example, there's a website people use for tracking, and that website is extremely popular. And if you can imagine that website getting taken down, imagine there's a Reddit post for it. It would be extremely, extremely popular. There'd be a lot of outcry about it. This post that Easy Monaco made when his website got taken down got like 15 upvotes and like 10 comments. Like, the community is so small at this point, and somehow Ponos found this website. That's probably how they found it, because the community was so small. They found this website for this Easy Monaco machine, and they said, "Hey, get rid of this right now. You're not allowed."
And he did it for a while longer.
Yeah, he's the person that discovered how to do event data and like put out tutorials to do it. He's the original person that did that. And
yeah, he's basically like the pioneer of all like the current event data miners and all that stuff.
Pretty much no one remembers him anymore.
I look up to him a lot.
Yeah, he's like the OG. Event data is a great example. He set the foundation for it, and unfortunately, no one really remembers him anymore. But yeah, he's the OG. He's immortalized here now. We thank you for your services. Since you're here now, Lucas, is out of the ones that we have left, is there one you want to pick that isn't Czar Penguin? Because we'll talk about that one last. That's the only one you can't pick.
Pretty much the only one that I'm somewhat familiar is like Empowered Guardian and I guess Gatchaman. I mean, Gatchaman not really. I just know like the origin of why it's called Gatchaman.
Of why
that's good. That's the two part of Gatchaman.
We can go into it if you want to talk about it. Go for it. We can build on it.
I don't really know Okay, since I just joined in, I don't really know what you guys have been
But
talking about in.
I was gonna
Uh,
say we've just been picking one and we've just been talking about it. So like, yeah, we'll just talk about Gotcha Man for example.
However long it takes.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. For Gotcha Man, so the Reddit Gotcha Man, it's if you go and search this Reddit exactly, which is why I put it like r/GotchaMan666. If you go search this Reddit, it's a private Reddit. You can't get into it, so it's like super mysterious, and there's no way to figure out what it is. But if you were in the know back when it was created, it's a testing ground for moderators for the subreddit. Whether or not they still use it today, I don't know. But it was a testing ground, and there were like changes I would make when I was the moderator or one of the moderators for the subreddit, and I just I'd put them on this subreddit first, make sure everything looked fine, and then I'd copy it over to the main place, and if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, I'd fix it. And it was originally named after these Ponos live streams they would do, where they had I don't remember his name, but he was like he had what is like brownish blondish hair, right? It was almost like and he had like I don't even know how to describe him. Yeah.
I have some of them. I have the streams downloaded.
You can talk about it more, Lucas, if you want the JP live streams.
I don't really I don't really know what this is. What?
I was gonna say just talk about them, like the live streams, like what they were like.
I really didn't fully remember. I remember it was like it kind of has like a Japanese quiz show kind of feel.
It
really
a bunch of UIs on the screen. It feels like a Japanese quiz show kind of thing. Well, it's not really. I guess it's more like just a couple of guys sitting on a desk.
With like staring at their phones.
Yeah, they're just staring at their phones. Some guys just I guess of course they're just playing Battle Cats with the screen showed off.
Just a bunch of Ponos, random Ponos people.
Yeah, there's some random Ponos people. There was some there was also this guy that was invited, I guess, by Ponos, who is called GotchaMan666, which I think is a YouTuber, I think. I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy.
Okay, then this isn't what I'm describing. Never mind.
And yeah, basically he was just, I think he was like considered pretty much one of the better players, or I guess
out of their live streams,
big brain players in the live stream.
Because all of the Ponos people were so bad. They were like really bad. They did like competitive events, right? They would like play the same level at the same time, or they would like play with different lineups. It was like beat it, whoever could beat the level or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they were like speedrunning Moon Tree, I think.
Yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, it's just in reference to these old streams, these old JP streams, but more specifically, this Reddit was in reference to those, and this is in reference to the Reddit. Which
here, take a look at the picture I sent. Is this him?
Very few people know about.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, it is who I thought it was. Okay.
You gotta remember that he was also notable for playing one-handed.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's what was so funny about him. Not only was he like the better player of that whole stream, was that he also played one-handed. So really, he like flex his hand when he would finish a run.
Yeah.
He appeared a lot.
We could talk about this is a hard one to talk about. We can talk about Wanderer's Trial Stage 2 since we're talking about JP stuff. Because this one has a double meaning. We'll talk about the actual meaning first, like the one that is real. Wanderer's Trial Stage 2 is sort of in reference to I think they even showed it on one of the... Yeah, I think they even showed it on one of the Ponos live streams.
I think so.
Yeah, they did a collab with Nico Nico TV, which is basically Japanese YouTube. And you'd go and play this stage in the dojo, and it would just shoot out like a bunch of enemies that are just the letter W, and they fly at you and they suicide, right? Or is it, they just like
I think it's similar to Snowball.
It's like
they hit you and then they like just sit still or they disappear or whatever, and they never attack again. And it was like just this joke stage for this event. But the actual meaning that I intended when we put it on the iceberg is, in the dojo in the current version of BattleCatscheats, the regular dojo is just called Wanderer's Trial Stage 1. So
like that for so long,
and it's been like that since the dojo got released. So it's been called Stage 1 from then to this day. So maybe I put it there saying, what if there's this secret Wanderer's Trial Stage 2 that no one's ever unlocked? This hidden ultra knowledge Wanderer's Trial Stage 2. That's
you gotta
hidden.
get the double ROS.
Yeah, you have to fully clear Stage 1 to get it. And you have to get the specific score. It's just like a joke about why it's called Stage 1 when there's no Stage 2.
Yeah.
So maybe there's secretly a hidden Stage 2 out there that no one's ever found before. And it's deeper than even we can put on the iceberg, because not even we know about Stage 2. Where is Stage 2? Not even the data miners know. So yeah, it's like a double meaning in that way. No one knows.
I think that's like the only real joke one on the iceberg.
Yeah, and even then, it does still have a real meaning in some way.
Yeah.
So, what should we do next?
I want to pick Yoda one.
Go for it.
Yoda one. So, there's many versions of Battle Cats, and back then I personally liked to download every single one to see what's different. And people were hyping up the Chinese version specifically, and it was under the developers Yoda one, if I recall. And this version is like a super scuffed version of the game, honestly. You gotta buy cat slots, not like team lineups. You have to buy like your third cat slot, your fourth cat slot, and they increasingly cost more cat food, if I recall.
Yep.
The like bases are all different.
You didn't earn
like
cat food at a
one.
better rate, right? You earned it the same way, right?
I forgot.
I
remember something weird is the gacha rolls I think are slightly cheaper, or something like that.
I remember.
So weird.
Yeah, there's really weird things in that version.
To the best of my knowledge.
What happened?
Yeah, I said you can't find the version. I've been looking for APKs on and off, and I haven't found anything.
Oh, really?
Of this original Yoda one version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like doesn't exist basically.
Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but
it's so hard.
Crazy stuff.
I was gonna say it's so hard to remember it well. Yes, yeah. In Battle Cats, it's a cents. It's like you can hold 16,500 cents.
Was the fire emoji? I think.
Yes, it was fire.
The Bahamut costs 5,400 or 4,500 fire.
Something else notable is I remember there only being 2 sub chapters when I played it. I don't know what that was about. I went to SWL expecting to play the SWL again. It was just 2 sub chapters.
Were they unique sub chapters or were they just?
No, just the first 2. And I guess the biggest thing to take off of the Yoda 1 version is in the help button. There's an image. People know about this image, but maybe not the source. It's an image of like a stage, and it has. I don't know what the first enemy is, but the most important part is in this image it has Cyber with Red Cyclone. And this is before Cyber was actually in game. Like we know Cyber's in game now, and people have noticed in the game for a while.
Yeah.
But this is way before that.
Way back then.
So people were like freaking out that
files.
Yeah, like this version has Cyber in it, and I'm pretty sure that stage doesn't actually exist. If I recall asking like I think IT or someone, they're like it's probably just a fake stage they put to bait or something.
Just uses an example.
Like the death testing stage, you mean, or as in like someone
again?
made it up?
Yeah.
Kind of a death testing stage, or is it someone made up?
That's a good question.
No, no one knows.
Made it up.
It's probably just a stage, yeah.
Yeah, it would
if
make
it's a
more
dev
sense.
station, that'd be absurd. I don't know what units they're using back then because the older units kind of suck.
I mean, who knows? Their version of the Cyber might have just had like placeholder stats.
Right. Cyber isn't like the Cyber we know now with the massive range.
We just don't know, yeah.
It was however they put it at the time.
There was also something about Yoda 1 who I think someone said that only some people that was like invited or like getting lucky from live stream or something that got to play the version.
For really? Yoda 1? I had never heard of that, if that's true. That sounds
really?
That sounds ridiculous.
Maybe because I think you did have the register at the time for some of that.
I remember someone saying it. I thought it was from here actually. Okay,
really?
Actually, disregard that.
Wait, we did, there was a contest for BCCD, which we already talked about.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I mixed that one up.
We could talk about. I kind of want to talk about Nurse Wuffa's henchman.
I hate you for putting this one.
You say you hate me
I hate you for putting this one.
It makes so much sense,
so
though.
Stupid.
It makes so much sense.
It's so good.
I'll talk about it. Back in the day, in like pretty much all the way from the beginning of Battle Cats almost. The Nurse Wuffa, like some of his friends, you know, Wuffa was like used to be a very troll person. He would just do stupid things because he thought they were funny, and you know he would have stupid ideas for stuff. Even nowadays, like if you knew him, he'll say like he'll jokingly say like you should do this thing, and he just means it as a complete joke. Like don't actually do it. But you know these people, these two specific people that Nurse Wuffa was friends with, these two specific people would take statements like those, like haha you should paste an image of this meme under this guy's thread. Yeah. So and they would take that and they would do it. And they would do it every single time. And they did it everywhere across the community. They did it on Reddit, they did it on YouTube, they did it on the wiki. They did it on the wiki. They did it in the old Kick Chats, one of the original places people would talk. They did it anywhere you can think of. So even if Wuffa didn't make a joke about something, it's just like these were Wuffa's friends, and no one knew that these were Wuffa's friends, but they were everywhere, and they were trolling everyone for like 2-3 years.
Specifically, someone found out that they were, and they're like, "Damn, Wuffa's got some shitty friends." I remember that post.
And
I think
if you really want to,
it's also funny that you get to see some of their comments on Wuffa's YouTube videos, and then it's like I think like on even earlier Wuffa's video, like some of you guys were like actually commenting normally, and then later on, it just gets like weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
Very
oh my gosh!
If you really want to see what they were like back then, there's a wiki page you can go look at the edit history for. If you go look at Togaluga's edit history, there's a version. There's like you can go on the edit history and you can click preview for any individual version of the page. There's a version of the page that was edited by them. I won't spoil what it looked like, but it's entirely
it's out there still saved.
It is still saved on the wiki if you go in the edit history. So if you ever want to go see what it was like back then to get messed with by these two dudes, you can always
that's a more tame one, honestly.
It is. It's very tame, but it's just like that's the type of stuff they would do. Yeah. So that's that. That's them. Immortalized forever.
Well, we're on the wiki. Lucas, you want to do Empowered Guardian?
Yeah, go for it.
From what you remember?
You hear Lucas?
He's dead.
What? Sorry.
Do you want to talk about Empowered Guardian? I feel like you might want to.
I don't really... I mean... Empowered Guardian, well, I guess it's just a good way to go on from the wiki, because this is also from the wiki. Empowered Guardian, it's... Man, I'm not really sure if this is even, like, okay on the iceberg, because this is, like, such a... kind of like such an inside joke. But not really, I guess. It is,
the thing is
is also related to wiki history edits. Sorry, I was cutting you off.
No, it's fine.
Also related to wiki history edit on Learn to Love, I think.
Yes.
Was it Learn to Love or Mina?
Learn to Love.
Yeah, okay, it was Learn to Love. I guess it was like somewhat earlier when Learn to Love was still new, and yet at the same time it also stays in the Learn to Love page for quite a while for some reason.
Wait,
Go ahead. Which is that it listed the boss as Empowered Guardian.
Yeah. on the edit page, well, because there's like extra lore to it, because back then Learn to Love was on the wiki, it was listed as the last stage in Battle Cats, because when people would decrypt all the files, they had a bunch of the stage names for unreleased stages already in the files, like ahead of time. Like they'd already planned out all the names. And the last stage that was listed in the files was Learn to Love in that chapter. And they were put on the wiki. No one knew anything about them. It was just, this is the last level in Battle Cats, and that's all anyone knew about it. So some random person thought it would be a really funny idea to write down the enemies that would be in the stage. And all they put down, this random person, and they wrote 100% magnification, Empowered Guardian. And no one knew where it came from. No one knew who edited it, because there was no user that edited it. It was an anonymous editor. It was completely random. And it lasted, like... It was like... No one knew if it was real or not. So all of this build-up onto the final stage, like when the update comes out, we literally do still think that there might be an enemy called Empowered Guardian that comes out in this stage. And lo and behold, Mina stage finally comes out, like, so much longer after Empowered Guardian was written on the wiki. finally Mina stage comes out, and we're just like left disappointed. We see Mina in the files, and we scream "Empowered Guardian." This is Empowered Guardian.
And
it's
got
just
peons, and it's more than one enemy.
Yeah, it was just, and we realized it was just a complete lie. Some random guy had led us on like this wild goose chase for something that didn't exist, all for a joke.
A funny wiki edit.
Yes, this guy who put it on there is just like some random dude who thought it'd be funny, and there's a ton of us who just.
I wish I knew the mindset for it. Just like, damn, the last stage. Empowered Guardian.
Empowered,
That's his name.
It's like, where did he even come up with Empowered Guardian? It's like,
the funny thing is, even before the Empowered Guardian, it's like all of the enemies there. There was definitely some edits before the Empowered Guardian, and they were listed as like bullshit stuff too. It was like 10 billion Berserkers and 100.
Yeah.
Because there was some reason this one.
No one knew
Guardian
anything, but. You'd go on the wiki and you just see this is the last level in Battle Cat. So people would be like,
"What's the worst thing?
What's the hardest thing that I can think of? 10 Berserkers, 15 Auros."
It's so funny.
Yeah. So that's the history of Empowered Guardian. Pretty much no one ever know about it ever, but if you know about it, it's a legendary history.
It's a very fun one. If you were on the wiki, just dumpster diving through and seeing like, because this is back then. Old BC had. Like, we were so far behind in updates, but we had, like a big dump of just a bunch of sub-chapter names that we knew were coming, but, like, what was going to be in it?
Yeah.
Just no information other than the names.
So the part of the
really
speculation
weird.
is what made it convincing. It's like, you just don't know, so why not take it and believe it?
Yeah.
That leaves us with 2. There's... do you want to talk about it, Wuffa? You and Ninga can talk about r/the Battle Cats.
Battle Cats.
I'll let you guys talk about it.
You go, Ninga. I'll have to you.
So, back in the day, basically, we were sitting in Wuffa's Twitch chat because that's where we used to hang out a lot of the time, and I just remember we'd kind of bounce ideas off each other. I'm like, dude, we need to make our own subreddit. That's like, because we didn't like the current subreddit. And it was called r/Battlecats. We got to, use the official, English name, what it is now, the Battlecats. Is the name taken? Nope. And I specifically remember Wuffa saying, like, yeah, if we do this, we got to get it, we got to get it right from the start. We're going to make it good. It's going to be sick.
Yeah.
And then
there was, like, a lot of effort put into it. Like, there was a guide that was going to come with it to, like, better enhance, like, how to play the game. A lot of the units described in depth.
Mm-hmm.
It was gonna be like pretty much a more stricter r/Battlecats, but
it was supposed to be centered around gameplay, almost entirely by gameplay,
and more than just like meme posts, art posts. But then I came to realization that it's like, nah, it's mobile game community. Just let it be what it is.
Yeah, there's no reason to try and take it super far or be. Not that it was necessarily elitist, but it's like taking it further than some people really even cared about.
Yeah.
And if you want to find people that'll talk deeply, you'll find them out there.
Yes, exactly. It was like making a community for yourself is like, it's pointless. You just find people you want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was private.
Yes. Well, because we were working on it too, like quote unquote working on it.
Mm-hmm. So like this mysterious Reddit existed called r/the Battlecats that's locked. And no one really has any idea why. And occasionally, as a mod of the Reddit, you would get like a request to join, and it would come.
Yeah.
You could request to join. You can request to join a private Reddit, and you can put a message with it, and there would just be people asking like, "What is this Reddit? What does it mean?
How to get access?
What's wrong with this? Why is this Reddit locked? I just want to talk about Battlecats."
From the regular Reddit asking like, "Have you guys heard of r/the Battlecats? Like, what's even in it? It's locked. I can't join. Anyone have access?"
And no one knows what it is. Yeah, because it's only locked to pretty much
people working on it. But that's essentially what it was. It was going to be a more strict, more game focused Reddit for Battlecats, but it never came to be. It is something that I didn't want to happen in the end.
So then
it ended up not being worth it.
Yeah. So lost in.
It's definitely entertaining to look back at the posts though of us testing the bot and stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of we talked about unreleased No Plan A, and on that Reddit there's like we talked about the crazy strategies we'd talk about.
Yeah, Yulala.
On that Reddit there's like threads from Caxer who would just like he would mine a bunch of game data, or he would just get it through manual hand testing, and he would just write all of his findings on Reddit posts like to be he basically used it as a place to save information that could be easily forgotten. Stuff that people have never even tested really even today.
Yeah,
like
Cat used to do like so much manual testing. It's
Yeah.
Caxer's like the OG for that.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier with Rain Machine Shield. Like he, I don't want to say he innovated a lot of things, but he like was a great source of knowledge for his time. He like knew everything.
Excellent player.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is that was like way before so much like event data stuff, and I guess like a bunch of data miners getting.
Yeah, that's.
And he just manually test everything. It was
testing stuff out.
Yeah, like for example, one thing he learned about and wrote about was knockback distance and how far a knockback is approximately.
Yes, that was a good one I was gonna mention.
That's something that you would not be able to find out exact data for, like pretty much until like 2 years ago. Like you wouldn't be able to just like find it out.
Look it up.
Like nowadays, you would like ask someone. You'd say, because there are just people who can find it out. They can just go look in the data. You could just be like, hey, how far does a knockback, what does it equal in range? And someone, if they didn't know, they would ask someone else who would ask someone else that found it through the data. Whereas Caxer was like, I'll sit here and I'll literally like take screenshots of my screen and I'll look at the pixels and I'll count it. And how much range is a pixel? And like that's what he would do. And that's like what that Reddit was dedicated for in its infancy.
The time before Jones and like IT Stumbler
deep
would give you the real deep mechanic information and stuff you don't know at all.
Yeah, and that leaves us with the final.
That's all you. I'm not doing this one. I'm not saying anything.
So little to say about Czar Penguin, which is what makes it so great. There was a Battle Cat spin-off game. It's another licensed game, not developed by Ponos. Some Korean developers licensed Battle Cats to make a endless tapper game, and it was extremely low quality. The game was not very good. There's not much to say about it. It was just a tapper game. It's exactly how it sounds. You just tap on your screen and you progress, and that's it. And after a couple updates, they added a system called like the World Boss. You'd fight this raid boss, and you have like 30 seconds to go do like as much damage as you could. So you just tap as fast as you can for 30 seconds. And you know, you'd think it'd be Battle Cats themed. Everything in the game is Battle Cats themed up to this point. Like, you know, it has cats from the game, it has enemies from the game. Like it's all Battle Cats, except for this World Boss event they made, where it just features 3 completely OC made up, not Battle Cats looking enemies that are just completely made up. And one of them is called Czar Penguin, where he's just a standing straight up Emperor Penguin that just has a crown and is holding like a cane and has a royal coat on. He's just called Czar Penguin. They have no special animations. They don't look anything like the Battle Cat style. They're completely exclusive to Battle Cats Rangers. They've never been featured anywhere else in any Battle Cats anything. They're completely unique to it. And you can't download the game anymore. It's like, you can't download the game anymore. The World Boss feature doesn't even work because you used to have to be connected online for it. Like, it is completely lost to time. The only way you can find out about it is like you find it through a video. It's the only way they exist anymore. Videos or screenshots.
To be fair, Battle Cats Ranger is like relatively pretty known. It's not actually like that deep, but
yeah, the game itself is pretty known. But I think
people actually like really care about the bosses.
That's part of it. People cared about it so little that no one knows what Czar Peng is. You read Czar Peng in the Iceberg and you say to yourself, what? I've never hit. There's nothing in Battle Cats. Star Peng? Did he just spell it wrong? Like, it makes it's so obscure in the realm of Battle Cats knowledge. Like, yeah, it's beyond obscure. Only true Abyss tier people will know about it.
It's crazy how it's still so obscure that I don't even know the names of the other 2 ones that are in it the boss banner.
One is called Chimera, and I don't even know the name of the other one. It's like a giant. Wow. It's like a giant. It's a giant demon, like a gray and black demon. And I don't know his name. No one, as far as I know, no one knows his name. But it's probably on a like low view count YouTube video somewhere. But
I'm pretty sure. Actually, now that you think about it, I think Reddit plays Battle Cats Ranger quite a lot in his videos.
Did he?
So maybe it is not that deep.
Yeah, though the world
I went
boss,
back.
the world boss event didn't come out until quite a while after the game released. So if he didn't play it for like, another month or so, like he wouldn't have seen the feature. That's like what makes it so obscure. It's if you had played it day one, you still wouldn't know about Czar Penguin. If you played it week one, you still wouldn't know about it. You had to play it like long.
Continually playing.
Like near the end of its lifespan is when they started popping up.
Yeah, which is part of what makes it so obscure. Even if you knew about Battle Cats Rangers, you might not know about Czar Penguin, which is what makes it so obscure.
Elusive.
Yep, very
I
elusive.
love Czar Penguin. It's like the perfect cut.
Yeah, and that's the last thing on the iceberg.
The finish.
We still got honorable mentions though.
We do have some honorable mentions. Just to look at it again, here's the full iceberg. This is everything we've talked about so far. We talked about so many things for so long.
There's a lot.
There's some things we didn't have, like what's one thing we wanted to add that we didn't?
We should put the spotlight on Lucas for the tournament dojo.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great one for him to explain.
Slug Cat beta testing is, I think, was,
that too. My bad.
Yeah, feel free to explain it from explain it as a whole, the whole cat tournament thing. Like, go for it.
So maybe I should open up the post first. Basically, at one point, Ponos just decided to host a tournament. It's like a video creation tournament where you just, I think you just upload a video of yourself doing dojo on YouTube with like a hashtag or something. I forgot how you
something like that. Yeah.
Submitted. Yeah, it was like you submitted with a hashtag or something, and then it was like a stage tournament. Like there's like a stage 1, stage 2 kind of thing where if you pass stage 1, you go to the next stage, which is that now these picked winners that I think you get picked by like from quality and from your scores or like from your gameplay in general. You get this. You submit your email to Ponos, and Ponos will give you a save file that is specifically made for this tournament, which is that it's a save file with full level 40 units and like 20 plus 80 basics, I think. And then it also happened to have Slug Cat of all things, which at that time was not released. It was just on the game data. And the funny thing about Slug Cat is that for a while, since it's on the game data, the stats is still there, so we know that Slug Cat has like 100% slow against all trade and stuff like that.
Yeah, there were crazy theories about it.
Yeah, and for a while, since we cannot test Slug Cat at all, and there's no such thing as programs to test these sort of things out, we kind of just theorized that like, oh, maybe Slug Cat is like broken because that's like 100%. You can stack him and like make him perma slow and stuff. And then now that I have this save file, I test Slug Cat. Oh my god, he's shit.
It's like this save file granted to you directly by Ponos.
Yeah, it's a save
so
file
awesome.
Specifically from Ponos, and it has Slug Cat, and it's like, okay, I reported to you guys, I'm pretty sure, on Toxic Server, and I was like, okay, no, actually, this unit sucks. Never mind the hype.
Oh man, that was so funny. Like, never mind, he just syncs up on base and they all die.
Right.
That was so good.
The tournament itself is still very much searchable. I still have very much. If you look up Great Cat Tournament, it's very much there. I have a video on it. Regan has a video on it.
You had to do it on the dumbest dojo out of all the dojos.
Yeah.
Super luck one.
Did my Vaulter kill the Zengrus? Yes, I got a high score. I did it.
I don't know. I guess it's because Ponos never did it again. Is how I forget about it, honestly.
Yeah.
And, like, just dojo's kind of always a side thing that I forget. Yeah. Like, the videos are all there. Like, you can easily find it. But it's always hard for me to remember that it existed.
I wish we had included it somewhere. I'm sad we didn't remember it.
It's a very good one. Especially because we definitely want to put Slug Cat dev testing as the actual name.
Slug Cat beta testers. That's probably how I would have written it. There's some other stuff, like another joke one we talked about after the fact was Battle Cats version 4. Because you put it down in Abyss tier. It's the same as Wanderer's Trial Stage 2. It doesn't exist, so it's super like obscure. Yeah. It's like all the people who played Battle Cats version 4.
It came out in the Japanese version, but straight from version 3 to version 5.
Yeah, because they wanted to start equalizing the versions so they weren't so far apart. So when JP got updated to version 5, Battle Cats went from version 3.6 to version 5.0 as well. That way they could be equalized and it wasn't as confusing for people.
And that left version 4 to never exist.
Yeah, version 4 never existed. So you can make so many jokes about like the version 4 hardest stage or like version 4 exclusive unit, like
version 4 gameplay leaked.
Battle Cats version 4 APK, stuff like that. Wish they included that.
That would have been a good one. Battle Cats 4 version 4 APK.
There was some other stuff we talked about, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. Unfortunately.
I might look back real fast.
Gosh, there's so much stuff up here.
We definitely talked about some of these stuff on yesterday where we're talking.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Discord not loading.
There's
so
those
much.
two at least, because those two are really
Yeah.
important. We mentioned JJ Amali. I like briefly talked about him.
Yeah, we did talk about JJ. There's too much to talk about in JJ. He was just he's a friggin' nerd.
He's a great person.
Nerd. Yeah. I think we can just end it there then. We got through the whole iceberg. We did it all. I'll make sure that we timestamp it. This is a long freaking video.
That's a lot of timestamp.
3.5
time.
It's currently 3:19:34.
Yeah, this is a long video. I'll make sure to timestamp it all. So if I mean, I said at the beginning of the video, if someone wants to look at something specific, they can just timestamp to it, and then boom, they'll get the full description for it, and that's it. That's that.
There's the
what's up, Lucas?
There's the what was it called? Filibuster being obtainable.
Yes,
the Korean version.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because that one's so obscure that we didn't even remember it. There is a poster. There's like an in-game poster, the old in-game like info button where you would pull up all the posters and the info with it or whatever. There was apparently one for the Korean version of the game.
Yes, Korean.
And on this poster, it has Filibuster Cat, like the original Filibuster Cat, the one that looks exactly like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z, like no armor or anything, the old unused version, and it was on this poster. And apparently, it was obtainable in Battle Cat's Korean version, but I've never heard or seen a save with it. There's no gameplay videos with it, but this poster that looks official does exist, and there's. I'd go as far as to say there's no information on it besides the poster itself. That just says that you can unlock it. And
extremely,
no one knows where it came from. No videos, no gameplay, no nothing. And
that's true. Abyss tier as well.
It makes me wonder if it's a miscommunication between like Ponos and then like their Korean Korean team. Yeah.
I was gonna say what it could have been is it could have been grabbed from the files in KR.
Oh gosh, like Bearcat,
like Yoda one,
or like Cyber, and they just use them on the banner.
The thing is normally those like those event pages that are listed, those normally aren't in the files themselves. You get them off the Ponos like servers. Right. It's data sent from the servers. So like for example, if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can't look at those pages. So like you probably wouldn't have been able to find it in the files, so how did anyone get it if it didn't appear in the game? It like adds to the mystery even more.
Yeah.
So and
with that up, Lucas.
Yeah. With no one having ever seen it in game or any gameplay of it, no one knows. It's a complete mystery.
I think Geisha and Maiko Cat are also in that image banner.
Yes, they are.
Also an obscure unit.
Mm-hmm. And that unit is in the game, right?
Oh yeah, an old Cat
Geisha is.
Geisha is in the game.
Cat God Mini is also, but he's a code unit. I don't know what they do with him now.
I think they got rid of code units entirely.
Code units would have been a good one. Tutorial Cat.
Code Cats would have been good.
Code Cats would have been a good one.
Yeah, you have like a serial code you enter and you just unlock a cat for free once you enter the code. But it's like, I don't know if it was just like a code anyone knew and could be entered infinite times, or it was like you go to an event and they give you a code and it's a one-time use thing. I don't know how it worked.
I just know that you would just enter the code and you would get it.
Yeah.
So
is there an award thing?
Whether or not it was.
I'm looking at the page thing for old Filibuster. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's one of the weirdest thing in Battle Cats. It doesn't have an answer. There's no answer to it.
Yeah, because like people know about the existence of evangelists. Like it's pretty common at this point.
Yeah.
the fact that Evangelist seems to be used to be obtainable, that was like, oh, this
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
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 But like you try to look it up and you can't even find videos of like him being a drop in the Korean
There's
version.
nothing. Like you go to I remember I asked I think I asked someone who knew about Korean Battle Cats YouTubers and they linked me like a bunch of channels. Even ones that go really far back and there's no videos of it. Like it doesn't exist. It's one of the craziest things. So yeah, those three things, some things we forgot. Yeah, that I can't remember anything else.
That pretty much covered it.
We thought about, and we took like how long? Well, we actually did this in like 2 days. I think we did this whole thing. There were some things we did get rid of. There was one other thing I got rid of, but I can't remember what it was.
You got rid of Kick Chat.
Oh yeah, I got rid of Kick Chats because it's like I don't know.
Almost like only like the people you know, and there's no way to find it outside other than going into that. Because like no one in Kick Chat would go out and talk in Reddit or comments. It's only in there.
It's obscure to the point where it's like you can't find information on it. And,
you literally can't.
Yeah.
And you can't find people talking outside of the Kick Chat about it.
Even if you knew about it, you wouldn't know where to look, which is the crazier thing. But yeah, that's I think that's it. That's everything. We're done. Is there anything?
I hate you.
Yeah, fun.
It was fun.
Thank you for talking about it, everyone. I'm glad we got this out of the way. Hopefully this is like useful or interesting to someone who thought it or wanted to learn more about stuff they saw in the iceberg, or maybe just someone who'd never even seen the iceberg and just wanted to know about battle cats. Because I guess we talked about a lot of stuff that wasn't necessarily on topic, but I think it's a nice little history lesson for someone that wants to listen to it all. So I think that'll be it. We'll end it here. Thank you guys for doing this.
Thanks for having us.
It was awesome.
No problem.
See ya.
See ya.